Hello, guys. How are we doing? My name's Dan. Welcome to the Give Me Your Holy Air Wrestling podcast. We've got Sam, we've got Kenny, and we've got Andy. We will be having Dom join us very shortly. He's busy being a queen. He'll explain more when we see him later on. We've got WWE Backlash tonight. So we've got plenty of people to keep you covered through the night. I'm only going to be here for a little bit until Dom turns up. We've got an exciting night. Kinney, what's your match you're looking forward to tonight?
I'm looking forward to a couple of matches. I'm really looking forward to the six-man tag. I was telling you, talked about this a couple of times. For a couple of reasons, the storyline and the athletics, I think, top of the tier. And also the Zelina Vega and Rhea Ripley fight. I'm really looking forward to. I think the pressure's on Rhea a little bit, but I hope they pull it out. I think it can be a really good match for both of them.
Yeah, definitely. Andy, yourself?
I'm just looking forward to listening to this Puerto Rican crowd go crazy for the what looks like it could be the main event between Bad Bunny and Damian Priest. I just think they're going to be this. They're going to set the bar for how it's going to be, and with the UK show coming up in July, we're going to have to try and match whatever they do tonight. So really looking forward to hearing the volume levels hit a new high for 2023.
Yeah, definitely. The pop that Bad Bunny got last night on SmackDown was absolutely immense.
Yeah.
Sam, what about yourself?
So who's that saying right on the back end saying, right, I'm going to bed, you don't need me? Is it
That's
any of us?
probably
Or is it probably Dom? I thought he was still in the car.
It could be.
Focus on the road. I don't care if you're in a traffic jam. Respect the traffic laws. So again, me and Andy were talking about this on the other stream a moment ago before I had that poorly timed sandwich. But sorry, there's no one else in the world who pops and is as rowdy and as boisterous as a UK crowd. So Puerto Rico I'm sure are going to put in a good showing tonight. But you don't believe me? Go and watch Clash at the Castle. Come back and that we've got the football hooliganism in our blood. So that makes us the most obnoxious crowd ever. Because that's the thing with the Brits. People think the Brits are all a little bit posh and a little bit stiff upper lip. That's what until they meet us. And it couldn't be further from the truth. We are the worst and the best in a stadium at the same time.
I mean, this is where we go from that point. Kinney, you met us, load of Brits abroad.
Yeah.
Completely random.
Sandals.
Yeah. How did you find the Brits?
It's true. But you don't know. You don't know how much Latinos love wrestling. We love wrestling. We love it. We love it. It's like you know how much I love. Like you met me. You know how much I love wrestling. It's like you put a stadium full of me's. You just put a bunch of me's in there. No, the I can't believe how long they were holding the whoa until they finally hit. That was just prime. So I don't know. Those are fighting words, Sam. I don't know. We'll see.
All I know is. Hang on. I've got a visitor. Hey, Finn. Hi. Do you want to come up and say hello? There we go. I don't think Finley's ever been on the stream before. But all I'm going to say is, hey, Bailey, I want to know. Like, they wouldn't leave Bailey alone, the UK crowd. So this is Finley, named after Finley and Finn Balor. But I don't know if you heard of banging a minute ago. That was him banging open the door so he could come and see what I'm doing. So, but I am going to kick him out in a minute. Oh, mate, you're getting kicked out because you're going to go give Mummy a cuddle in bed. Go do that. Cool.
So we've got Bianca Belair coming out at the minute. What do we think is going to happen with the first match?
Oh, it's a big crowd. It's looking good. Andy, do you want to take this one first? Because we just discussed this a moment ago, didn't we?
Yeah. Before I say that, I love that they replayed the drone shot that they had on SmackDown. It's so cool. Like we were talking about this on the stream over on Rebellious Noise Wrestling, and I was saying I'm a massive fan of that. Like, give me that for the O2 because they did it for Nashville for SummerSlam last week through some of the bars. I love that. It just makes it feel special. But this match, I'd love to see Io take the belt here because I just think I'm such a fan. Like, she was great when she was in NXT. I think it's her time to kind of do it. I think it's a good time to reset that particular belt over onto SmackDown. And yeah, Io would be a great shout for doing that. She's so talented, and I think her moonsault is absolutely beautiful as well.
Yeah, 100%, definitely. I mean, I've been talking about it with a couple of the guys at work that are into a bit of wrestling, and I've said that I don't think Io's been hotter right now. For a time in NXT, for a time on the main roster, I think as of right now, she's probably one person you could put the title on and it wouldn't feel like a downgrade from Bianca.
No.
And I think that's the best part of this point is Bayley would be a good shout. Dakota Kai would be a good shout, but I don't think anyone has got the hype behind him that Io Sky has right now.
Yeah. It gives her another chance, by the way, to kind of sow a bit of jealousy in with Bayley, which would set that up nicely over on SmackDown. So there's that opportunity as well.
Yeah, definitely.
I worry a little that I'm so sorry.
No, I was going to say, what is it you for yourself, Kenny?
Oh, I do. I guess I worry about a couple of things. If they choose to keep the belt on Bianca, I think the pressure is on Bianca to make this a very good match. Because I feel like Bianca has had trouble before with having chemistry with her partners. And it's been a couple of times now. And I think it's really important that she has good chemistry because Io is such a good, like everything you've all said it already. She's amazing. She's flawless. I think probably out of Damage Control, just the star. Every single time in every 100%. Single scene. I think probably there were a couple of problems with Damage Control in terms of like being on television and being able to sell on television, but Io Sky was never one of them. Not ever.
Definitely. I'm just putting a poll up for the guys in chat. I know Hassan's already asked.
Is Hassan in? Hi, Hassan.
He already is. Don't worry.
I'll just respond to some of the homies. Michael, I don't know where your comment's gone. It's been lost in the shuffle, but yes and yes, 100%. To your Steam Deck question. And Sassy, thank you very much. There's a lot more of them coming, especially with Impact. I can hear someone's stream.
We are getting feedback from someone.
We're getting some interference from somewhere. I don't know where it's coming from, but
it's me.
Oh, fair enough.
I think I got it though.
Cool. You get a bit funny sometimes.
Yeah,
I'm still here.
A few people in chat are saying that the crowd are 100% Io Sky. Misfit Game is in. How you doing, Misfit? Yeah, crowd saying 100% behind Io Sky. Io definitely is going the bigger pop from Michael. Puerto Rico doesn't like Bianca.
See, I think Bianca's retaining, but because me and Andy have just discussed this at length on the Rebellious Noise stream, like pre-show stream. I think again, we can see Io holding the title at some point, but I don't think tonight's the night. But I do think people are souring on Bianca's title reign. I think like she's running out of things to do. Where I love the idea of her slowly turning heel and Io slowly turning face, but then Bayley getting jealous of Io. Because remember, Io was NXT Women's Champion. She was absolutely awesome. Remember that I beat Candice. If this happens, I beat Candice promo. That was just awesome. So I can't wait. I really hope they do that here, but tonight's not the night. They need to build that steadily in the background. I think Bianca needs a disputed win here, a win, but maybe a controversial one. I don't know what you guys think.
Yeah, I mean, we've got a great sort of take from Norma, who usually had some absolutely brilliant takes. Would love to see Io win. Imagine Bayley's trash talk from that point, saying that they've got a champion now.
Yeah, and she'd get, but I love the idea of her getting jealous of Io and like Triple H Batista, I think is the obvious comparison there, isn't it? A few other times, but This card has got me quite confused. It's hard. It's going to be hard to call. It is quite exciting. I love what you've done with the artwork, by the way, Dan. Thank you for doing that. Sorry, I didn't say thank you to you earlier in the week when you originally sent it to me. But I haven't had a moment to breathe this week.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
I would be really. I mean, so I do think they're giving Bianca the John Cena treatment, as a couple have said before, which I don't mind necessarily. Like, her popularity is going to come around. It's going to waver. It's going to come around again. I do think that I feel like if I would like to see EO win, sorry. But I feel like if EO won, I would love to see a Bayley doing her best to take credit for that win.
Yeah.
To talk about how, not even necessarily showing jealousy, because I think this would just be such a great way to play it, but just because that she's so conniving in that way. That's the way that she kind of plays herself, as this sort of, she's not even necessarily like a straightforward jealous person, because she doesn't want to be seen as somebody who feels jealousy, but rather as this person who's above that. Why would she feel jealous of Io? You're right.
Yeah,
like she made Io's guy. Like, she crafted this person. She brought this person up. She molded her. She basically gifted her that belt. She basically, like, really, that belt is basically Bayley's. And she gifted it, right? Like, that kind of turn of, like, it's basically mine, and I just gave it to Io. But basically, you know, like, we all pity Io and let her have it and let her take the credit for it. Like, that play would be so great. Like, I would actually love to see Bayley play that, because she would be the only person, I think, who could convincingly play that off in a way that's like, you love to hate to see it. I think that would be great.
I actually think that's better than jealousy, because that's heelish delusion, isn't it? It's the idea that you have everything because of me. It all stems from me.
Right.
And Io could be like, whoa, sweet child of mine. That's not true. You know, what's going on here? I'm a former NXT women's champion. You know, that division that could stop. Like, at first, Io could just be like,
exactly.
What? But then eventually she could lose.
And that eventual, like, that eventual collision.
Io versus Bayley at SummerSlam, calling it now.
Exactly, right. Yes. That eventual collision could be just so
Bayley's
good.
also really good, by the way, as a heel, because all the best bad guys always have a hint of truth to what they're actually doing. Like, I know this is kind of a little bit off on a tangent, but when you look at like Thanos in the Marvel like movies, like his idea of actually he was trying to save, and he was trying to have this whole he was trying to save the galaxy, and it's overpopulated, so he's doing it, and he's just trying to make the hard decisions. Bayley's very good at kind of having that like dripped into her character, where when she was going up against Becky, she was doing it in a way that's like way too much, like, because when she was saying to Becky, "Is like, what have you done for like the rest of the women's roster? It's always about you. Like, I brought these two up, and like I'm the bad guy. How does that work out?" Yeah, I like the idea that Kenny said there about going down that route. And the other interesting thing is Dakota Kai and Bayley picked up a win over the tag champions on Raw. So there's probably a match coming down the line where they're going to get a title shot, and maybe she fails in that. And, you know, that kind of further sows the seeds of like, if Io wins here, or maybe Bayley costs her a win tonight. And then they have that match, and then it kind of goes tit for tat and that kind of route there. So it would be interesting to see if we see Bayley tonight at all. If we do, I think she's going to end up accidentally costing Io a shot tonight.
Oh, I would love to see that. Yeah.
I mean, I've been sort of watching the action while listening to you guys, and there does seem to be a good bit of back and forth. I haven't got any sound on, and I'm just looking at the crowd reactions, and they do seem to be popping more for a big Io move rather than a Bianca Belair move, which is that is something that I wouldn't have expected to see. But I know people are starting to get behind her, so it could just be the point where you do turn Bianca heel. We haven't seen a heel Bianca yet, so how do we think Bianca could flip into that heel role quite naturally without we could do like a double turn without an immediate sort of flip of a switch.
Slow burn.
A very slow burn, because I think it could be, I've been champion for this long, no one's good enough to beat me, which we can get as a face, but it works so much better as the heel. So do we think we could sort of see that moving forward? Slowly heel turn, slow burn heel from Bianca?
I think tonight is showing that they might have to do that now. Because you remember, Dan, because you were probably sick of hearing me whinging about Asuka losing at Mania. Like, I was furious about that. I was more mad at that than I was at the Cody thing. I was really, really annoyed about that. I think it's because I'm a little bit. I've never been. I think Bianca Belair is a superb wrestler. I think she was better on NXT than she's been in the main roster. But in many ways, in the main roster, she's kind of become this absolute, like, she is the John Cena of the women's roster. She's amazing, but I find her a bit boring, where I find Io amazing. So I'm all up for seeing her flip, but she's also brilliant at being a heel. And so I'd love to see that on the main roster. She was cracking on NXT as a heel. I am ready to see her turn. Yeah. I love what Andy said earlier about her being like, right, if I am so good, maybe I am so good. You fans can stick it. But Io being the breakout star of what they call damage control really works for me. And like come SummerSlam, she could have come full circle, because they debuted as a faction last year at SummerSlam. So yeah, I'd love to see these two slowly turn. Again, it has. I think it should be a slow burn. It's not. No one's ready for it yet. I think Bianca's got a lot more to do before she loses that title. Just in my opinion.
I would actually love to see her turn heel while holding the championship.
Yeah.
I would love to see her response. I would like to see a heel turn in response to the crowd. So the more boos she gets, kind of the more she doubles down.
Yeah.
Agreed. Right. And because it's built into her story, right? It's already there. I've had this response to me before. You're too EST, right? Like, you're too good. You're too much, basically. That response to her, that she's talked about it before in promos, that people in her life have tried to put her down. And so kind of taking a version of that and putting that on the crowd reaction and kind of amping that up slowly over time, so that the more boos she gets, the more she's like, no, this is just because I'm too good. This is because I'm the EST. That's why they're booing me. And just kind of doing more and more and more of that over time, until eventually it's like, no, you're all booing me because you can't handle how good I am. I'm the EST.
Exactly. Yeah.
I think that would be like a great way to, and while still holding on to the belt, I think would just be a great, yeah.
Andy, what was it you said? You quoted Harvey Dent from A Dark Knight when he said you either
you either die the hero or you live long enough to become the villain. And I think it would work perfectly for this. I keep making comic book references tonight, but it works so well because it was what they could have done with Cena, because Cena kind of like was everyone's like golden boy, and then suddenly became like he just started getting booed off a certain portion of the audience, and they never knew how to kind of cope with that. Well, arguably, they use that as a case study, and you say, well, how can we flip that, and how can we make that work for us in the future? And I think Bianca's perfect for it, because she came out with the kids, and she'd be like, hold on a second, like, I get people, like I bring in kids from like a dance school in LA, and and this and that, and what am I supposed to do? I'm just very good at what I do, and you guys are going to boo me for that, and then just kind of go down that route and say, you know what, boo me, that's fine. I'm better than all of you. I am the EST, and I've never said anything else. So, seeing some of those comments, by the way, this is a great match so far. Really, really good. And that was a nasty. I don't know if you guys caught it. The one-armed press, dumped on her face.
Savage.
It was at her. She fanned her. So the way that she did some great performance choices during that moment too. That I kind of peeped, and like I peeped in when she did it, but she kind of like fanned herself and was like, "Oh, this is nothing for me." Boom, literally tossed her on her head. I was like, "Oh."
I wasn't sure she said she's got a wrist injury. I didn't know if she was kind of like flexing her wrist or not. But if she was doing that, then that's a cool little thing for her to do as well.
Oh.
She did it when she was trying to do the top rope where she did the is it a 450 that she does? She was kind of doing that again with her wrist. So I don't know if she's like.
Oh, maybe so. It could be a wrist injury. Yeah.
Blimey, genius of the sky, indeed. Look at that.
Beautiful moonsault from the top turnbuckle. Very, very sort of reminiscent of Charlotte Flair at WrestleMania 34, I think it was. I know it's a move that Charlotte does go to quite a lot, but it's still an absolutely beautiful photo opportunity for people.
Yeah. Does she have the? I'd like to get your opinion on this. Does she have the prettiest moonsault? Like, as in, like, in just watching it in the way that she does it, it's so kind of like. The way that she does it is very fluid. I don't think anyone gets close to how she kind of tucks herself in at the height of it. But if you can name me anyone else who can do a better moonsault, I would also shout out Tiffany Stratton. Does a very good one on NXT at the moment.
Definitely.
I do believe Christopher Daniels does the best moonsault ever. Just throwing that out there. I don't know if you guys are Ring of Honor marks, but that's literally what he calls the move. So, but there you go. So it's that's what he calls the moonsault. So that was just one for the marks in the audience, which I'm sure there are plenty of. The smarks.
For me, I mean, I always have a look at Lita's moonsault because I think the way that she doesn't jump, she leans back and then flips more, and it looks so much more aggressive on the landing. Which I quite liked because it looked so much more impactful than just sort of falling on someone. But I mean, like now I understand the beauty of the move itself. I think Io Sky, absolutely beautiful moonsault from inside the ring to outside, from the top rope, absolutely beautiful every time.
Yeah. Oh, Normar's just said, Dan. Bianca keeps the belt by cheating. See,
that'd be a great start to that heel turn.
And I think, Misfit also says it's gonna. Sorry, I thought it was your other comment, Misfit. This is going to be a Io Rhea tonight, both the heels, and I love it. I love the idea about you mentioned earlier, Misfit, about them calling an audible and maybe pulling the trigger on a slow turn for Bianca. I think they're going to do that anyway. To be honest, I think they're reading the room, or at least I hope they are.
Yeah.
Here come damage control. Yeah. Are they going to cost Io the match accidentally? No, that could be interesting.
Yeah. I mean, I think Bayley needs some new pants because hers are ripped to shreds.
Yeah. Oh, here we go. Finish time.
So, could that be a distraction? We've got Dakota Kai up on the apron.
She's hitting her with her. Reminds me of that Progress show that was called When Men Throw Men at Men. That was a cracking name for a wrestling show. Absolutely brilliant.
That's the best name of a pay-per-view ever.
Yeah, that was it. It was when Men Throw Men at Men. And it was like, this is the greatest name of a show. But Progress have all the best names for their shows. Yeah. They always do. Careful, Bayley.
There's a show happening in the UK next month. 1PW. Have you seen who the headline is?
Yeah. Wow. I wish I was there.
I'm looking at sort of maybe trying to get tickets. Will Ospreay versus Matt Cardona. I mean, two people. I don't think there's two better wrestlers on the planet at the minute.
What city is it in, Dan?
It's Lincoln.
Lincoln. Oh, of course it is. Andy was saying before, weren't you, mate? Yeah. Michael is marking out so much. His mum and dad have told him to shut up.
Yeah,
I get it from my wife, Michael.
beautiful.
Don't worry. One,
And
two.
Bailey's just there we go. KOD. And Bianca does retain.
So they did have a little bit of a Bailey was trying to hold her braid to keep her down. So like there is an argument that they got involved when they didn't need to, but
Yeah.
we'll see if it comes to anything. Great match.
Yeah.
Sassy's just put Bailey's cost her the belt. Bianca retains because Bailey got caught. Bianca won. Yeah. A lot of people sort of are at the point of knowing that this is the start of the implosion of Damage Control, I think.
It also could be the start of Bianca's turn as well.
Yeah.
I reckon. I think we've all called it in the same but different ways. But it just feels right. It feels natural, and it's a weird one. But I think they don't want it to be a situation where the crowd are reject. Like remember when Roman Reigns, when they were pushing Roman Reigns to the moon and nobody wanted it. Like obviously, notwithstanding when his leukemia came back and the crowd instantly was right behind him and quite rightly. But when they turned Roman heel, was that the greatest decision in WWE history? I don't know, but it's up there. It's up there.
It's one. I think it's probably the best decision they've made in the past 10 years.
Yeah, just turning Roman Reigns heel. They should have done. I'm actually glad they didn't do it ages ago when they should have done, because when they actually did it, it just felt awesome. It took them out of the pandemic era and into the Roman Reigns era, which will come to an end sooner or later. But let's just bask in its glory for a little while longer. Until it inevitably ends. Until it's. I know Kinney's very much into the Roman Reigns thing, but I have to just stress to you again, Kinney, he's the bad guy. He is the bad guy.
Yeah, but he's the best bad guy. He's the best. There's no better bad guy. There's no better bad guy.
There might be one anyway. I'd say MJF's up there too, but Roman Reigns is just.
I think I disagree about MJF, but
fair enough.
That's a different podcast.
Yeah, he's more of a
Savio Vega's on the screen, by the way, and I don't know if you guys have got the volume on. My word, he just got a massive pop from that audience. Yeah. They just went mental.
Yeah, he just came on.
Got Taylor in saying fantastic match to start the pay-per-view. Completely agree.
Taylor.
Absolutely brilliant match. I've got no volume on whatsoever, but you could see the crowd was behind the match most of the time. I don't think they was as happy as they would have been if Io won the match. But
really interesting, isn't it? That sorry, Dan, go on, mate. Sorry.
No, go for it.
I was going to say it's really interesting, isn't it, that everybody's behind the heel, seemingly universally. And here comes Dom. He's home. He's here. There's 5
Hello.
On a pay-per-view stream.
What up?
Time you call this?
Yeah,
dude. I've got a story to tell you about why I'm late. It's pretty dark, but yeah. We're okay. It's all good. Everybody's. Well, I'm here, so that's good.
Oh no.
So, my dog Finley interrupted the stream earlier. Finley interrupted the stream, so that was quite funny. He banged open the office door and came running in and jumped up on me. But anyway, so yeah, I'm glad you're here because you were. I think you were texting from your car, naughty, or you weren't. I don't know. It could have been. You were. Oh, fair enough. I was trying to.
I was texting from the car, but it's all right because I made it. Thank you for covering. Thank you everybody for being here. This is lovely. First time we've ever had 5 people on the stream. I mean, it's like a typical hotel evening for me, you, and Dan, isn't it? Just getting cozy.
I am sort of. I did say I was only going to sort of do the background stuff and do like the banners and everything paused for you guys, so you could talk about the wrestling.
You can do the bangers, Dan.
It got to 1 o'clock and it was like, well, Dom's not here yet to host, so I'll jump in.
I told Sam that he was going to start it.
Wait, okay. Well, I was about to. I text Kinney. I text Andy. I said, guys, join in. I made it. We were a little bit late getting off the other stream, so I quickly went in there, grabbed a sandwich because I thought I have to eat. I came running in here, jumped on the stream, just about to go live. The guys were already here, already organised. So I just leaned into it. But yeah, another minute, if it hadn't been, I would have started on my own, no problemo. But Dan was already here, being professional. So I thought, while he's here, I might as well use him, put him to good work. And I'm going to finish my sandwich. And I ate the sandwich with some comedy value. So there you go.
I look forward to watching that back. How's everybody doing? Let's go around the room while we're on a break. Dan, how are you, mate?
I'm doing good. I had a long day at work. I've got a long day at work tomorrow. I'm in the middle of a 6-day stretch, but I'm still here with you guys. Don't worry. Oh
man, I appreciate it. Sam, how are you, mate?
I'm wicked, mate. I think you know how I am. I think we've talked. I'm quite tired. I'm a little bit disappointed we didn't do SmackDown last night, but we were all too tired, weren't we? It wouldn't have happened. Glad we're here tonight. It's been a great match so far. Looking forward to the rest of the show. Really happy, really buzzed.
Cool. Yeah, that was a good match from what I saw. From the Bianca and Io match. Io looked amazing. Io was doing a great work from what I saw, which is good. So I'm excited for this, for potentially match of the year next, guys, Omos and Seth Rollins. But before that, Sporzy, who's got his microphone muted because for some reason he thinks I don't want to hear his silky smooth voice. How are you doing, Sporzy? You all right, mate?
I'm just enjoying being here with all you lovely people on a Saturday night. I'm all good, mate. I did actually say before you came on that when you joined, I did have to give you a yes, Queen, because you'd been away. Enjoying yourself.
It was wonderful. I had the best time. There was so much music, so much dancing. I got to hang out with the Queens as well, which was lovely beforehand. And it was just a great time. Emma had a lovely time. I made some new friends. The tour manager. That's how I got to go to the show. As I met the tour manager a few weeks ago. And yeah, he's a lovely lad. So we went for a coffee. It was just a lovely day. But then, unfortunately, like I say, without going into too much detail, there was an accident on the M62 on the way back. Quite a serious one, and yeah, it's delayed me being here by over an hour. So I'm glad we're here. But yeah, it was pretty dark, the situation, as far as I understood it. But I'm happy to be here. I'm happy to be here with you guys. And Kinney, I'm very happy to have you back. How are you doing?
First pay-per-view.
Thank you. I'm doing pretty good today. Big health week as always. But doing pretty good. Lots of new projects in the works that I'm really excited about. So trying to get those kind of off the ground. So yeah. And really enjoying Backlash. Really enjoying.
Yeah, this is your first pay-per-view right here on the Give Me a Hell Yeah podcast, and it's wonderful, wonderful to have you.
Everybody's being very gentle.
Man, everybody loves you. As far as I'm aware, everybody's a fan. So it's good to have you back, and I'm looking forward to hearing about these projects on or off stream. We might ask you about them before the end. I might ask you about them when I've had some sleep and I'm a little less knackered. But the greatest superstar of the modern era, guys, is about to make. Well, he's making his.
Will you stop with the sarcasm?
The giant Omos is coming to the ring here now. Can somebody tell me, one of you, any of you? I believe this is all built on an epic rivalry that Omos and Seth Rollins have been building now for 2-3 months. Am I correct? Let's go around the room. Let's get everybody's thoughts on this. Dan, is this is built on? You've been watching Raw. You are the hardest working man on this podcast, watching Raw every week. This is a 3-month build, right? What we're seeing right now for Omos and Seth Rollins has been going for ages.
This is gimmick.
I think that it's a great way to try and pull a 3-star match out of a 1-star wrestler and a 5-star wrestler. I think that if anyone can get a passable match with a good amount of wrestling, I don't think you can get better than Seth Rollins at the minute. He's probably the best person to pull a match out of Omos that will feel and make him look. I was going to say $1 million, but $500,000 is probably about Omos's level.
Okay, all right. So some salty comments there from Dan Hargreaves, the master of ceremonies on Monday nights, right here on the Gimme a Hug Yeah podcast. Sam, what are you expecting from this? Hopeful 3-star match, as Dan says.
Well, if you can't beat him, join him. So what I like about this is it's been, like if there's one story that's been better than the Bloodline this year, it's clearly Omos versus Seth Rollins. I was going to say, if you can't beat him, join him. So I think I've just popped down. I think I've just killed him off. I hope he's not joking. Are you all right there?
He's on his stats.
I got worried about him there. I got worried about him. He was just gyrating over there. No, look, am I the only one? Like, seriously, am I the only one who's like? Yes, obviously we also had a pop at Omos in the other stream that Andy and I were on a little while ago. But am I the only one who thinks, look, he's an attraction? I like seeing him in the same way I like seeing Braun Strowman. I think there's a place for him and people like him in WWE. Yeah, he's not the greatest wrestler in the world, but it's not about seeing wrestling when you're seeing him. It's about seeing him go run around and smack people and throw people around, which is just done to Rollins. But yeah, yes, this has come out of nowhere, but they're doing it for the heavyweight title thing. If they want Rollins to look like a star after this.
He does look like a star. He just held the crowd in a whoa chant for about 2 minutes, which was so he's an amazing star. And obviously, Omos is just destroying Seth at the moment. Andy, are you able to comment on the glorious nature of this match?
Well, I'm going to presume that you're not an Homo sapien from what you're saying. We were just Sam and I, sorry, I should say is the correct English there. We're on with Scott on RN Pro Wrestling's podcast or pre-match pre-show, and basically I was quite abrupt in my views. Dude can't wrestle. He can't talk. He can't wrestle. I'm fed up of seeing big men have to be bad guys. Honestly, like it's a case of if you are over 6'7", then you automatically become a heel. And the kind of comparison that I used was Andre the Giant was beloved by all because of like he was a genuinely nice guy, and his heel turn actually meant something because he was such a nice guy, and it wasn't even that well received because people didn't want to boo him. And from everything I've seen of Omos outside of the ring, he's actually a genuinely nice guy. He's had a lot of like health issues to overcome to the point where he's done interviews where he said as much of saying like, I don't know how long I have. I just enjoy every minute that I'm here. And that's not a heelish thing to do. So stop preventing him that he is a heel, because for me, like just because you are over a certain like height, you don't have to be a bad guy. But that doesn't change the fact that right now he's very green. He can't wrestle in terms of like any kind of like decent match. He is completely reliant on the person that he's in the ring with to do any of the work for him. So yes, it's clever to put Seth Rollins in, but I think the vast majority of wrestling fans can see exactly what this is, which is let's try and get a bit of Seth's experience and ring nous and rub it off on Omos. But I don't think anyone's buying it personally.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's an interesting point you make about Omos being a face. I think that is coming. I've seen some of his interviews, and he does come across like a really nice guy. And I think he could have that wonderful kind of Andre the Giant effect if he did become a face. But like I say, this is still a Vince era, and Vince time, and big dudes tend to be made the heel, and that's what we're seeing. Kinney, your thoughts on Omos? I don't think we've had a great deal of conversations about Omos, you and I.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on the giant, the Nigerian giant, and his placement in this quite prominent match out of nowhere with Seth Rollins?
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty confusing. I think it'll depend a lot on the outcome. If Seth wins, I think it's a pretty clear, like, they're pushing Seth towards the heavyweight championship belt. So it makes sense, like, you put Seth up against the heaviest, on a certain level, you put Seth up against the heaviest guy and he wins. So then it puts him up as a contender for the heavyweight championship belt. Okay, that makes sense. Especially because Seth, in a lot of ways, has always been a kind of like for the kind of invisible weight categories that the WWE has. Seth has always been a middleweight rather than a heavyweight, right?
Yeah.
So this is a good way to push Seth up a weight class in that sense.
Yeah.
And to kind of like two birds, one stone, and to push Omos, right? So there's that. I like that we've seen Omos get better over time, right? He has never been stagnant, in my opinion. Over the course of the past couple of years, we've seen him working. He has been getting better. I've never seen him come out and be the same that he was before. So I've never been frustrated with him. I've never been frustrated with Omos, which is something that I appreciate. But I have wanted to see a face Omos for a really long time. I would love to see an Omos. This is what I think would be really funny. I would love to see an Omos like really knock someone down, like the way that he does, like really bulldoze someone and then be like, I'm so sorry, man. Like, I'm so sorry. Like, pick them up, dust them off, and then do it again. like, I'm so sorry. Did I hurt you? Like, I'm so sorry. Like, but I have to do this. Boom. Right back down. Like, just over and over until this poor guy is like, oh my God, what the heck is happening? Like, I think that would be comedy. Like, that would be great. And I think that would be a great way to sell him as a face. But go ahead, Dan. I'm sorry.
No, it's fine.
Yeah, comedy Omos could be interesting. Yeah, I mean, again, presented correctly, because again, you either get the big guys who are the monster heels or the comedy guys like the Great Khali. So there's definitely a middle ground which Omos could inhabit. Sorry, Sam, were you going to say something there?
No, I am. I'll let Dan go first, but then I'll quickly pop in with what.
Sorry, there's so many of us. So Dan,
go on, Dan.
Go ahead.
I think the point that Kinney was making, I think as soon as we started talking about having someone get knocked down, picked up, brushed off, in my mind, why did I want to see it be Dolph Ziggler?
That'd be amazing.
Some of the moves.
Great.
Just like the Goldberg match.
Just like do like 3 triple backflips out of the ring to get.
Omos goes for a clothesline and Dolph Ziggler does 3 backflips at the same time. Lands, gets picked up, and then same thing again. It'd be amazing. Yeah,
he is the greatest seller. He is the greatest seller.
Backflips, cartwheels out of the ring, just like be great. Omos just be like dragging him by one leg back into the ring. Like, it would be great. Be like, come on, buddy, you got this. We can do 2 more minutes. It's all right.
Yeah.
Do you know they could do all this? They could turn him face Omos, but I think one great way they could do it is if they bring again. I'm obsessed with bringing back the Hurt Business. If they bring back the Hurt Business, put Omos in it, and have Omos like they could have Bobby as the like he could hold a belt in there. He could be the champion. They could have obviously the tag team in there of Cedric and Shelton. MVP is the mouthpiece, of course. But you could have Omos as this gentle giant. So he's the guy who's, he's the muscle of the group, not the star guy. The star guy's Lashley, but he's the muscle. He's the troubleshooter. But I love the idea of a troubleshooter who, has that gimmick as I'm so sorry, dude. Just like, and all the heels are there giving him all this grief and abusing him, and he's just beating them up, pulling them back up. Because let's go back to Andre the Giant. Andre the Giant was sometimes that guy. He was always a badass babyface, but he was, apart from his heel run, he was the good guy. He was the nice guy, even after he battered you to pieces. So they could relitigate. That's the wrong word. They could bring back or channel the spirit of Andre through Omos if they do it that way. Like, they've tried doing that in the past with Braun Strowman a little bit, but it just when he was throwing Balor around, in a nice way, but it didn't really work because they turned him heel halfway through doing it. And then turned him face again and did something else with him. So, I'm into that, but as the Hurt Business. Let's do it because that'd give him a reason. That'd give him a mouthpiece. It'd give him a lot of reason to and allies to defend and stuff like that. And
some security.
Idea. Exactly. I love the idea of
a security blanket to nest a little.
Imagine him beating up Solo Sikoa and then apologising to him while Solo's just getting madder and madder and madder. It'd be hilarious.
That would be a great match, though, because Solo is that Solo's ability to no sell is just amazing. So, you know what I mean? So having him just no sell, getting knocked down, and then getting picked up, like no sell, getting knocked down and picked up and brushed off would be comedy. Like, it would be great.
Yeah, I think it'd be really interesting. Can we just have a moment to celebrate the fact that this match is still going on?
And it's good.
Yeah, this is good. There's a stomp from Rollins. Rollins gets a stomp. He finally manages to hit a stomp. Omos blocked the first one. This is great, actually. Omos is being made to look pretty good here. Although he is about to take a second stomp and probably lose. But this has not been a bad match. 1, 2. Omos kicks out of 2 curb stomps.
Ooh, so they're putting him over. I think Rollins is going to win, but they're making Omos look. But to be fair, Seth Rollins would make anyone look like a star. Seth Rollins is impervious to a bad match. Even that bloody Hell in a Cell match, I enjoyed because I thought I loved both guys in it so much. The booking was terrible. The booking was terrible. It was awful, but both guys are great. Sorry, and I think Rollins, especially as far as a worker goes, is impervious to a bad match. I just think he is. Someone's going to remind me of another bad match.
Probably the best. I think he's one of the best pure wrestlers going at the moment.
So we get. I think I'm slightly ahead of you guys.
I would put him up there. Yeah.
So we get top rope. A top
Andy,
rope.
You called it. Was it you or Scott who called it? Was it you who called this or Scott?
I can't remember if it was me or Scott, but it was discussed. It would be a top rope stomp to finish him off.
Nice.
Okay. Yeah, well done. Nice top rope stomp. I mean that was sold pretty well. You know, it was the kick to the back of the head. It was a stomp to the back of the head and almost kind of fell to the ground.
Nice.
It was good. It was well done. Seth. Sorry, Kenny, what were you saying?
No, go ahead, Tom. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, I was just saying, it's a great, good match. Well, good match for Omos. Great showing for Seth. But where does this leave Omos, guys? Omos has taken a loss to Brock, and now Seth. Unless there's any more pressing questions you guys can think of, we'll start with Kenny and go to Andy, and then Sam and Dan. Kenny, what does this do for Omos, taking 2 big profile losses, heading into a championship tournament that he's got to be in the conversation for? It doesn't exactly scream world championship contender now for Omos, does it?
No, and I don't think he should be. He should be in the conversation, obviously, as being one of the biggest guys in the company.
Mm-hmm.
And I think this does a lot for Seth. I think the match itself does a lot for Omos, because I think this is probably one of Omos's best matches and his longest match. Right? Like this might be Omos's longest match to date. This is definitely longer than the Lesnar match, I think. Him losing to Lesnar made absolutely no sense. It made no sense.
I bet money on that because it made no sense.
It made no freaking sense. Like I have such a bone to pick with Lesnar because of the amount of wins he takes that are so unnecessary at this point in his career.
Yeah.
Why?
Absolutely. I'm very much with you on that. Andy, do you have anything to add on that? And again, you are king of the questions, and obviously I love having these conversations with you, but unless you can think of anything else coming out of this match that sort of is more pressing, I am focused on Kenny's points that it is a really good Omos match. It was a great showing for Seth, but the continuing sort of burial of Omos, really, he's lost. I mean, he loses. I don't think he only ever beats jobbers, doesn't he, Andy?
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, but there is the potential line that could go down here is that the person who keeps setting these matches up is MVP, and basically he could just say, you keep putting me in these matches against these top tier guys. Like, what are you doing? Because yes, I appreciate you kind of having the faith in me, but Brock Lesnar and then Seth Rollins. Like, can we not just get me a bit of momentum and stop putting me in exhibition matches? Like, I want to like kind of prove myself. But
Dolph Ziggler.
you're putting me in matches where like like against top tier guys, like and then build himself up. So maybe he fires MVP because he keeps putting him in these kind of like grandiose matches, and he needs to kind of prove himself elsewhere. But that's anything I can kind of think of. But I completely agree. I think if they were going to build him as a someone, he should have, because the whole reason why they had that Brock Lesnar match at WrestleMania was just for the visual of having him receive the F5 and nothing else. But that wasn't to say that he couldn't and shouldn't have kicked out of the F5 and then won the match. They could have had both. It wasn't that difficult. So have him take an F5, make him look ridiculously strong, because not many people actually do kick out the F5 if you want to make him as a somebody. This match just kind of continues it, and I think you've got to look elsewhere and maybe feed him a few people. You don't have to, it doesn't have to be like local talent, but like start to move up a little bit, but don't go straight away to the top. They've got to go through it, through the gears, because I just don't think you're doing him a great service doing put him in matches like this.
Yeah, I agree, and I think there's an eventual turn that can happen with MVP and Omos, which will give the character a little more depth. Some good points there, Sam. Your thoughts on this one?
Yeah, I love that idea. I love the idea that he could be fed some mid-carders and work his way up the card that way. I think like they shoving him right into the big picture because he's such a big guy. Like I've said this before, and I've said it about Strowman as well. Like he's an attraction. There's definitely a place for him here because it's the land of the giants after all. But Dan's screen just went orange with Lashley's what's it called? Lighting, because you've got a white wall, so everything just went like yellow and gold behind you. It was jarring. But yeah, so I agree with Andy. No more jobbers, no more job matches, no more massive upper card matches. Let's have him in a meaningful feud with another mid-carder. Let's tell a good story, see him win that feud, and then move on to another one, and then see where he is by SummerSlam. That's what I think. And now I think I'm really looking forward to be fair, every single match on the card I'm now really looking forward to. But this one, Theory, Lashley, and not Jonah, he's Bronson Reed here, isn't he? This is going to be a banger.
Yeah, I am particularly interested in this one too. Before we get into this match, Dan, and thank you, by the way, for doing all the admin on the back end. Of course, you always do a good job on my back end, so there's no reason to doubt why you wouldn't do that. So thank you very much for that. But your thoughts quickly on Omos, again, as someone that watches him week in, week out, squash jobbers on Raw.
For me, based on what we've seen, we know he can now have a good match. So why not put him in there, but change his character up a bit? I just want to start seeing him do a 450 splash or a moonsault.
What?
I think if he could start pulling a move off like that every so often, it would change his game. I think it'd be unbelievable.
You want to see Omos do a 450 splash? Are you having a laugh, mate?
It would set off the San Andreas fault.
What are you eating, Dan? Like, I know your snacks are your lifeblood, but what? I'm actually quite.
If the Viking Raiders can do it, I don't see why Omos can't do it. I'm with Dan on this one. All right, I'm in.
Wait, Dom, you said you don't want to see Omos do a 450 splash?
Oh, I'd love to see it. But, I mean,
what are you complaining about?
The guy's a phenomenon as it is. Like, don't make the guy do a 450 splash. I mean,
like, who could take that? That's what I'm wondering. Like, who could, like...
Dolph Ziggler.
A hat on a hat.
Throw Dolph in there.
Dolph Ziggler.
Put Ziggler next to Ricochet and just see which one of them can sell it the best when he finally hits it.
Oh.
Yeah. I mean, the one
thing...
It
should always be Dolph. It should have been Dolph from the start, and it should always be Dolph.
I don't think I'd love to see him do. I keep going back to it. The Vikingo 630 springboard splash through a table on the outside
without bumping his head.
This is like someone in the comments is going to do this now on like 2K23.
Yes,
and,
do it.
Yeah, tag us on Twitter if you manage to do an Omos 6:30 or whatever through a table to the outside. So we're getting into theory. I always say Jonah too. I do the same thing. Theory, Bronson Reed, and Lashley. So theory's on SmackDown coming up. Both Lashley and Jonah or Bronson Reed are on Raw. So are we getting a title? Is this the one title change we can see?
Nope.
No.
I hope.
No?
I hope. Andy, do you want this
Sadly,
one,
no.
mate? Because we discussed this, haven't we already?
Is Lashley
need
not on
to.
SmackDown?
Is Lashley on SmackDown? Andy pays more attention to this stuff than I do, so he's probably right. Lashley probably is on SmackDown. Quick, as Andy, I'm sure, is checking right now. Quick fire predictions then from everybody. Let's go, Kinney, and then round. Quick fire. Who have you got for this match, Kinney?
I think Theory retains. Squirrely little a-hole.
Nice. Sporsy, Andy, what are you up to? What are you thinking about this?
Lashley's on SmackDown. Which kind of, like, for me, it kind of solidifies. We were having this discussion really briefly. I'll just say that I think with it being a title on SmackDown, and Roman Reigns not being there very often, then it needs to be built in its profile. So it needs to have a prominent place, which to me suggests that Bobby Lashley could be that person because he's got quite a big stature for that. But also then you've got to factor in, as Sam very rightly has pointed out, why would you have Austin Theory go over John Cena at WrestleMania if you're not going to keep the title on him? So I think it's between those two. But if I'm going to go with Bobby Lashley. I think they might give it to Bobby Lashley. Maybe that's the title change.
Yeah, I would like to see that too. Personally, Lashley would be my big shock if he won it, or if there was a title change here. I mean, realistically, I could certainly see Theory retaining as well. Sam, any fantasy booking here? I think you and I would both salivate over a imagined Bray Wyatt interference to continue the Lashley feud that should have happened at Mania. But I think we'll be doing that right up until SummerSlam, mate, if I'm honest, because I don't think it's happening tonight.
Yeah, I think that. Yeah, I think you're right, mate. I think that's a SummerSlam thing. I think for that, and in a way, good, because that's the stage he deserves. This is a B pay-per-view, but I think for this one, yeah, Theory retains. He beat Cena at Mania. I think the two big boys are going to batter each other, and then the squirrely little a-hole sneaks the pin and escapes. I think that's what's going on here, because that's the story to tell. He can then continue feuding with either one, or they can continue feuding with each other. Like, they need, if they're building stars right now, like, those two guys are going to be stars just by battering each other here. And Theory can continue to be a heel champion and win in a heelish way, and continue to be a champ and building a star. So they can build all three men up by having Theory retain. There doesn't need to be a title change here.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one. I think we should start a squirrely little a-hole chant on the podcast. So thank you for that, Kenny. So now the theories. The heels are working together now to destroy Lashley, which obviously firmly places Lashley as the face, which is how it should be. And as Theory and Jonah, Bronson, are doing the domination on Lashley, dominating the Dominator, Bobby Lashley. Dan, your quick prediction from this, please.
For me, because the titles are non-brand specific, the United States and the IC title are non-brand specific, there's no need for a title change. Because it's not like a Raw title or a SmackDown title, which is why I'm quite surprised they didn't swap the women's titles. So by the looks of it, we might be getting a title swap, which to me is the worst thing in the world.
Okay, yeah.
So yeah, I mean, Austin Theory, I think you're building him. Bobby Lashley is already going to be one of the main event stars without Roman being there. So this is the best way to build Austin Theory for me. Yeah,
as Lashley just connected with a finishing spear, but Bronson pulls Lashley out. So yeah, it's becoming quite a competitive match already. Particularly, I believe this match is predominantly being used to build Bronson Reed. Are we about to see Bronson Reed do some kind of? We are about to see him do.
Oh my lord!
Wow, it was like a weird splash thing onto Lashley's.
It's like a Vader bomb.
Shoulder. Yeah, like a Vader bomb onto the shoulder, like a standing Vader bomb.
Are they making Bronson Reed a sort of new Vader style or like Bam Bam Bigelow style? Like
Nomad's called it. No, sorry, Andy, go.
Yeah, so they can still, Bam Bam Bigelow as well. Yeah, they can move for a big guy. I know it's kind of like overplayed, but it's always amazing. And to be fair, the Tsunami thing that he does is really cool. Like I would not want to take one of them, but it's one of those moves where you actually see it and you go, absolutely not, I'm not doing that.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Just want to pause for a second. Obviously, we really appreciate everybody's comments. We really appreciate you all being here. It's an absolute pleasure and a privilege to have you all here. Just want to say, keep it chill in the comments, guys. We're all here to watch wrestling. We're all here to enjoy ourselves. So please try and keep it as supportive and as nurturing as you possibly can do. We are, we try and be as. I apologize for my mincing words. It's 2:02 in the morning, but we're just trying to be supportive of each other, guys. So please try and be nice in the comments. Is what I'm going to say. Otherwise, I'll be timing you out because you'd be naughty. I'm kidding.
And to answer Huang's question, because that's Huang's new name and picture, Jonah Rock is Bronson Reed on the Indies and in Impact and everywhere else.
He was great. He was great in Impact, great in New Japan, and fantastic to see him, have this platform in WWE. As that beautiful splash from.
It was a good combination. Lashley had the hurt lock on. Theory used the ropes to flip over. There was a pinfall attempt, but broken up by the Bronson Reed Tsunami splash. It was great.
Yeah, it was awesome. This is my match of the night so far, guys. Obviously, I did catch a lot of Bianca and the tail end of it anyway. And this to me is brilliant work from all these guys actually, and particularly Bronson, who I guess they are trying to make into a legit star. Lovely blockbuster there by Theory. Do you think this is going to be used? I'll open this up to everybody. Who is this match going to benefit the most coming out of whatever result we have here? And I guess we're coming to the end now. Who is this going to benefit the most out of these three, do you think? I'll leave this open to the room.
Theory.
Okay.
He's good. He's the smallest of the three guys.
Squirrely little a-hole, by the way.
Yeah.
Whoever called it.
Squirrely little
Hashtag squirrely little a-hole.
Whoever called it is just called it. Hang on.
SLA.
It's 2 a.m. We'll let you off, mate. It's 2 a.m.
Thanks, mate.
But, I mean, he's a great heel. And there we go.
Yeah. Theory wins.
Theory wins by taking advantage of another person's finishing move in a way.
Squirrely little a-hole.
Yeah. Exactly.
SLA. So there he is. There is Theory with that retention there.
This is not HLA. That used to be a chant, wasn't it? And was it Eric Bischoff? HLA. That has not aged well at all.
What was that one? There was CLB, wasn't there, for Christian?
No, was it not Eric Bischoff who was forcing Tori Wilson and Stacey Keebler, and he was saying HLA was the
right,
okay.
that
he was trying to do, and it was during the ruthless aggression era.
Okay, yeah, I knew about CLB from Stone Cold to Christian, but I didn't know about that one. I'd forgotten about that one.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's one of those ones that has not aged very well at all as we moved into a more prosperous era of wrestling. It was more inclusive era of wrestling.
More inclusivity, indeed. As Jonah and Lashley are in the ring, you've got to think that maybe Lashley and Jonah are going to continue something maybe on Raw, because that's what's been happening, isn't it? That's what's been happening, on sort of TV during the week. Lashley and Jonah probably have some unfinished. Sorry, Lashley and Bronson Reed probably have some unfinished business after this.
Lashley is on SmackDown. I will confirm that, by the way.
Sorry. Okay, maybe not then.
I'm really curious. Sorry, go ahead.
No, go on, Kenny. I was just waffling on. The tiredness has started to hit me. What were you going to say?
No, you're good. I was just gonna say, I don't know about Theory's ability to build other stars or to bring other stars with him, and he's at the point now where he's held the U.S. Championship for a while, and he should be able to. And that's part of what Cena was talking about, where he's beating stars like Cena at main events, and that should be a marker for a certain point in your career. And he should be able to be building other stars now then too. And he's, you know what I mean? And I want to see him build Bronson Reed. Like, that's what I want to see. I want to see him build Bronson Reed. But I don't know if that's, I don't actually know if Theory is capable of building another star. Like, I don't actually know.
Yeah. I think it'd be interesting to see in the next few weeks and months, particularly with the draft, whether Theory could elevate someone. I certainly think it's possible, but again, time will tell. Kenny, and some excellent, again, because he hasn't built any stars so far, but I'm hoping, someone like a. I'm trying to think who's been drafted to Raw. Someone like a JD McDonough. I know he's being pitched for the Judgment Day, which is elevation enough. But could use a few. But he's very heelish, isn't he? Who's another good example of who's just come up from NXT, who could give Austin Theory a run for his money, guys? Who are we thinking?
Grayson Waller.
Yeah, but he's a heel, isn't he?
Yeah, I suppose he is.
Yeah, interesting. Again, I'm trying to think of somebody that Theory could elevate, in the level that sort of Kenny's talking about.
Cameron Grimes?
Yeah, I was thinking Cameron Grimes, but did Cameron go to Raw?
No, he's on SmackDown as well.
He's on SmackDown, yeah, that's what I mean.
He's got a match straight away next week. Who's he? He got instantly.
He's facing, I saw it the other day, Baron Corbin, the gatekeeper. The gatekeeper of all things SmackDown. Yeah. So that'll be interesting. Yeah, I'm very excited about Cameron Grimes. Very, still very excited about Cameron Grimes. And guys, obviously we are, we're not quite halfway through. But what have you guys started this without me? How are you feeling about the PLE so far? Again, I'm just going to leave this open to you guys to let me know how you feel about it so far.
I'll quickly answer Michael's question and then I'll put the comment off. I haven't played that one yet, Michael. I'm busy with something else. But my mate is currently playing it through, and I think he thinks it's amazing. But you have to read the Deserto review when the time comes, because I can't say any more than that. I've been naughty saying that, but anyway, there we go. I think it's been better than I thought it was going to be so far, Dom. Sorry when the gaming interrupts the wrestling. I don't want to ignore Michael. That's all.
All right.
With him being one of our most esteemed and committed Hulkamaniacs.
Yes, absolutely. Let's get one other person's thoughts on this, and then we're gonna address the fact that Rhea Ripley, Mammy, is heading to the ring. Kinney, what have you enjoyed your first pay-per-view watch along on the Gimme a Hull Yeah podcast? How have you enjoyed this PLE so far?
Yeah, it's been great. I've been really enjoying it. I think, honestly, they've been really pulling out some great matches, tonight for Backlash. I don't know if it's the crowd. I don't know what it is, but I feel like even last night for SmackDown, I felt like it was a really, really good SmackDown. And today Backlash has just been the opening match. It was just, they came out with a banger. So it's been really great.
Yeah, I'm glad you're enjoying it. Can I just, the sponsorship, Mike's Harder, what is that? That sounds a little odd to me. Mike's Harder, what?
So you don't have this. Mike's Harder. So Mike's
I'm sorry.
Mike's Hard Lemonade. It's like a hard lemonade is like a lemonade with alcohol in it. basically.
Okay.
And you can buy it in you can buy them in like a 6-pack or whatever, and they come in bottles. So you buy them from like the store.
I think we
Mike's
need some of
harder.
that lemonade.
I think the Mike's harder is the same thing, but make it more alcoholic. just make it more.
Yeah, make it more, make it bigger.
I'm sure Mike's
Make it
doing
big,
it.
literally, make it wrestling.
Yeah.
They're like, do this more.
Make it
I
bigger,
think
make
Mike
it harder.
must have a happy spouse. That's all I'm going to say.
Make it bigger, make it harder. That's on the internet somewhere for sure.
Forgive them YouTube. They know not what they do.
Yeah, absolutely. As Rhea Ripley is out here in some very cool looking new gear. I love that leather jacket, the leather cut-off jacket. It's very cool. And the LWO coming out here. So remind me, what Dan's going to tell me what this is. Oh yeah, it's Rhea Ripley versus Zelina Vega. This is going
Already
to
done
be
for you.
Thank you, mate. This is going to be a squash match, isn't it, guys? And I'm so sad about it. Zelina Vega's so good. Zelina Vega's amazing.
I really
she's
want to
like-
see something other than a squash match, so I'm hoping, but we'll see. She looks amazing.
She's like Miss Puerto Rico, like if she was one of the Avengers, but Miss Puerto Rico. That's awesome. I actually don't think this will be a squash. I think she's going to lose and lose decisively, but I think she'll get some offense in because there's still a lot of this pay-per-view to go. I think she'll have a plucky underdog. I think she has to lose, but I want her to get a good showing because this has been a great pay-per-view so far. And if they completely bury her, it'll be a bit of a dick move. Like, but it's a very WWE thing to do.
But it would be so bad though. Like it would be like, I don't know. Every match so far has been so good, and then basically the first Puerto Rican comes out and it's a squash. I think that would make headlines. Like they couldn't.
This
and I also feel like so they could, and they would. Is what we're saying. But I'm hoping that Rhea and Zelina we're not going to. We're gonna do a good match. We're gonna do a good performance here.
I think Rhea's of the professional level where if someone came to her and said, "You're squashing Zelina Vega," she's like, "No, we're going to Zelina Vega's country. We're going to Zelina Vega's towns in a way. I've got to put her over. I may end up winning, which I know you probably want me to, but we've got to give Zelina a good showing."
Right.
And I think the thing that really shocked me, I think it was Norma that said it a few minutes ago. Didn't realise how much bigger Rhea is until they squared off last night on SmackDown. Zelina is tiny. Zelina is absolutely tiny. I mean, she's breaking down in tears because of the reaction she's getting.
They are teasing this. They are teasing squash. They're teasing squash with this, guys.
What a lovely moment for Zelina, but yeah, they are teasing. Like Rhea's just not impressed at all. I did notice that we got dogs everywhere, dogs all over the world. I did notice that Zelina's mum was wearing some black mask clothes. Is it Aleister Black's clothing line?
Yes.
Black mask clothing, which is cool.
Yeah.
I wonder if Aleister Black is backstage.
Probably
a lovely little moment.
Cheap
plug, mate. What? You interrupted my. You interrupted my cheap plug.
Sorry,
Sam.
Mate.
Sam, what are you doing?
Well,
get out of my cheap plug from my Malachi Black interview over on Soundsphere. Go check that out. So now you can unmute yourself. Kinney's got everyone's freaking out because I kicked off Sam. I love you, Sam. I love you, man. He's gone on now. He's back.
Oh, I'm not in the middle anymore. Oh.
Yeah. Sorry, Sam. What were you saying?
I can't.
There we go.
I've no idea.
You were talking about them squeezing squash. You were talking about them.
I think that was before. Oh, here we go. I love the idea of she's got to stay out of Rhea's way, and
Yeah, like
Kenny's back.
hey.
Hello.
I'm in the middle
Sorry.
again. Yay!
Dog business.
Really weird thing, by the way. So it happened at WrestleMania. The referees play a bit hard, like fast and loose with what's a disqualification these days. Because at WrestleMania, Ray took his belt off and started beating Dom, and now Zelina's just thrown a sandal. And I was like, that's a foreign object. Come on, ref, do your job. That's a DQ.
But I think it's such a pathetic foreign object.
Okay.
I think the referee for the match at WrestleMania, I think the referee was like, "Yeah, Dom deserves it. We'll let it slide."
Yeah, you get one in for me as well. That's probably what they're thinking there. Although, can I just say, I love the kind of like the when you delve into things like this. Rhea's wearing all white, which normally white is the kind of pure color of a good guy. It's very interesting to see that she's wearing all white on a night where she should be uber heel. She has to be like the worst heel because it's going to get a great reaction, which is why I thought we might see like WWE be quite brave here and just have her absolutely squash Zelina. As I said, they'll let Zelina get a Hurricane Rana in, and then it's game over from then on. And we are starting to see in this match that Rhea is dominating.
Even doing crotch chops to the crowd, which
I
is just your heel move.
I love that the foreign object. Obviously, that has significance to like people in Puerto Rico, people all over the world. But like, I feel like it was a nice little moment to a little bit of to inject a little bit of comedy into something that's going to mean something to people, into a match which is quite intense on an emotional level. Because if again, Zelina was emotional before the match started. Rhea is kind of pummeling Zelina right now, so it's quite an emotional. It's got quite an emotional turn to this, I think, as Rhea Ripley just does the Eddie Guerrero wiggle, the Eddie Guerrero wiggle. But yeah, I feel like this match means the most for me as an outsider. I'm not from Puerto Rico. I don't have that heritage, but I feel like this is certainly the most emotionally charged match of the night, I would say. I don't know what you guys feel about that.
I definitely feel.
Go on, Kenny. No, come on. You go ahead.
I was just gonna say, yeah, I definitely feel like. I mean, we all saw Zelina when she first came out. The emotion definitely feels more intense here than anything we've seen so far. I liked the chancla moment, with the sandal, right? I feel like it released some of that tension for sure, and I feel like any Latino for sure, and some other folks too. But seeing her hit her with the chancla, it's just a moment of being like, bah. Yeah, it was a great moment. I could see why it didn't feel like it didn't feel intentional enough to be like a disqualification moment to me.
Yeah, I'm not sure it's quite a steel chair, is it?
Yeah.
It reminds me of Austin Powers though, where it's like, who throws a shoe, honestly? And it's a bit of like a comedy.
Who throws a shoe? I love it.
It was one of those foam ones too, so it was like, I don't know, like, it's Rhea Ripley. Like, I feel like Rhea Ripley would have been like, you just no, like, ring the bell.
Yeah, absolutely. Damn, did you just do that? Did you just do the blocking?
No, that was me. Sorry.
Was it you, Sam?
Yeah,
wow.
I don't mean to be rude, but I'm getting so sick of that conversation of,
can
I call you this? Call
check
me that,
you out
with
the power play.
I'm just, right, 5 minutes, and like, blimey, can we not have that discussion has been going on half an hour, and it's making me fall asleep, guys. No disrespect. Let's talk about wrestling and not whatever that is. Anyway,
I mean, address people. Absolutely address people by the name they wish to be dressed as, correct pronouns, etc. But like I say, we got to keep it chill, man. We're here to talk about wrestling. So if you guys come back, then please do try and keep it civil. But I'm enjoying boss man Sam there with that block burn. He's like taking control.
No more BS. I'm sick of it. If you can't play nice, I will put you in a 5-minute ban, and then you're gonna have to come back with another screen name.
I think you've timed out more people than I've timed out.
No, I've just timed out Catriona / King, and Huang / New Year's for whatever.
Is that who it is?
Yeah, have you not figured out that's Huang?
No.
Michael figured it out within 30
way.
seconds. Yeah, so Huang and Catriona, you can both come back in 5 minutes, and then we'll forget all this ever happened. Yeah,
absolutely. Zelina Vega's going to hit a 619, everyone. The 619 by Zelina there. But Rhea's rolled
Let's
away.
go.
Nice one. A second rope. Okay.
That really looked like it connected. Those knees look like they hit.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I love that.
Beautiful Meteora.
1, 2. See, she's getting some offense in. That's what I'm pleased about. I'm really pleased.
Yeah,
with
this is already better than I expected it to be.
Yeah.
From Zelina, yeah.
I really like the generosity that Rhea sells with. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
For such a big, muscular person, she sells with like a lot of generosity. I love that.
Yeah, man, absolutely.
Facial expressions she pulls make it look like a great sell as well.
Yeah. She's all in every time. She's like, no, that hurt. I'm hurting here.
Absolutely.
This could be massive for Zelina Vega as well, because Andy and I were saying before that, like, even if Rhea wins and Rhea looks like a monster, after this, Zelina will be like, we will now be like, right, we now know your name much more than we did, and you're no longer just going to be the valet of Andrade and whoever.
I'm not a fan of that finish, by the way. They've just done there. The finish came out of nowhere. Like, I don't think that was the way to go with that match. They were building, and it just seemed to pop up out of nowhere.
I hate a quick finish.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. Sorry, you were saying, that was the wrong way to finish. What? I didn't say anything.
I'm gonna die.
It was the wrong way to finish that match, as Sporsy said, and as Kenny
it was an
said,
unsatisfying finish.
It was an unsatisfying finish.
We're all unsatisfied here.
Especially because Zelina, like you said, like you guys were saying, Zelina looked really good for most of that match. It was a coming out for Zelina in that way. Obviously she's only had the Sam, stop being so immature.
It's not me.
We're all grown.
She really bloomed in this match. She truly did.
She came into her own. She exploded.
They should take 5 and go again. Have a cigarette and crack on. Yeah.
We forget that Zelina was Queen of the Ring, right? But we've not really seen anything prominent from Zelina since then.
Oh yeah.
And this feels like that could have been that for Zelina, and it's still a great match, and it was still a great showing. But
getting a standing ovation here, by the way, which is nice to see.
It is
bit of an anti-climax, though.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, that was it.
I was going to say Kinney and Andy were right. They could have built Zelina more. They could have made it a bigger deal. Dan, are you all right? Are you like laughing?
Me and Sam are just laughing at everything that's been said at the
moment. Michael, that is also naughty. Anyway,
I mean, another 5 more minutes, and everybody could have left satisfied. Truly,
this is getting out of control. Yeah.
Well, I think
everyone's left. All the people have left. We've got everybody's gone because we've lowered the tone.
I blame Zelina Vega.
You reprobates. You lowered the tone. Kidding, I blame it on you. You're the new face. You're
I did tell you I was gonna come and make some trouble. I warned everybody.
The bad influence. We see
2 of them just came back, by the way, Dom.
On a serious note, Zelina Vega is crying, and it's a lovely emotional moment as we are backstage with Yorkshire's own Ridge Holland. Kinney, for your interest, Ridge is Ridge is from very close to where myself and Dan are from. Nowhere near close to where Andy and Sam are from, but because this originally started in Yorkshire with us Yorkshire folk, Ridge is from Yorkshire. So there's a little fact for you there.
Are you devoted fans?
Yeah, I am. It's great to see because there's not ever been anybody else from Yorkshire in WWE.
Yeah.
So we've got a little segment here, something about promoting an Arnold Schwarzenegger Netflix thing.
Yeah, a new film coming out. He is also with Butch. Oh, go for it, Dom.
Oh yeah, cool. There's an interview with Butch that I did at Clash the Castle. You can see that on, I think that's on Give Me a Whole Year. I split them between Soundsphere and Give Me a Whole Year. That's right here on Give Me a Whole Year. Go check that out. It was a good interview. Butch is a lovely human being, so go and check that out. Now we're getting an advert for Arnold Schwarzenegger's 600th film. He is in a film called, I don't know, but it's called something about heroes. Heroes don't retire; they reload. They reload. Fubar. That's the film.
Okay. Arnie, what are you doing?
That's great.
There's some kind of vibrating lipstick. Is that? I don't know what that's.
It's the connotation of Fubar.
Hang on, I don't even know what that means.
So effed up beyond all recognition.
Yeah. Oh, is that what it is? Okay,
yeah.
There you go, Fubar.
It's a term I used to use when I was doing my PC maintenance and management, and someone would ring up and say, "We've got an issue with the computer." We'd go down, we'd have a look, and they'd go, "Are you able to sort it out?" We'll go, "No, it's full bad." And they thought it was a technical term, and it wasn't. The other one we used to use was RTFM.
What?
And people used to go, "I can't get this to work. Have you checked the RTFM?" "No." "Read the manual."
That's brilliant. I'm going to use that one on me, Mum.
When it started to leak out, we got so much hate, but it stopped a lot of the issues because it was read the effing manual, because people wasn't doing it, and then they was wondering why they was coming up with problems.
Yeah, man. Good little insider knowledge there. Very important for people to know. We now know what Fubar means. Effed up beyond all repair, and RTFM. Read King Manual.
Yeah.
So there you go. We've got some definitions there for any tech heads who come upon this stream. Come in this stream, come upon it. However you choose to come into our space, we appreciate you. For those that are with us now or those that join us later after the stream is done. We're recapping Bad Bunny and Damian Priest. So that means, are we getting this co-main event now? We must be nearly done, are we? 2 hours?
Yeah, you know what? This doesn't bode well for Bad Bunny. This doesn't bode well for Bad Bunny if
hello, dog.
So sorry. Here, let me mute.
I'm reading those comments. That's not what this stream is for. So, take that somewhere else if you're going to do that, because we're here to talk wrestling. So, final warning.
Yeah, it's okay. Yeah, it's all good. You know, they just Catriona said sorry. It's all cool, but we're a small community. We just want to talk about wrestling with people that we love. You guys are all very, 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 very appreciated. We do love you guys. So just try and keep it chill, because we do have the power to ban you. We've only ever banned 2 people, so we don't really want to do that. So Sam's a bit trigger happy on the old button. So don't give him a reason.
Just give me a reason.
Don't give him a reason to ban you. Yeah.
Most of the people I was working with was like that. Nomar, just sort of a great tech guy issue as well. The problem is between the chair and the keyboard.
My mom used to say the problem is the loose nut behind the keyboard.
Yeah. I've worked with a few of them as well.
I was going to say, guys, it's James Corden. This doesn't bode well for Bad Bunny. This not being the main event. I know it's a co-main event, but me and Andy were talking about before, saying if this Bad Bunny being in this spot and not at the end, I think Priest might be going over now. But I think Cody might win if they're going on last. So
yeah, Cody needs to win. Cody needs to win.
yeah.
He needs to win. Sorry. I'm very passionate about this. I'm very passionate about this, Kenny. Go on.
I think that probably what I think is going to happen is Cody is going to get the pin on Jimmy.
What?
Either Jimmy or Jay. I think Cody's going to get the pin on either Jimmy or Jay. I think Jimmy, but it could be Jay.
Hang on. We already had Kevin Owens
No.
and Riddle versus, so that's coming up as
Oh,
well.
I'm so sorry. I'm getting my matches confused. The
Well,
6-man
Bobby's
tag, right?
screwed.
Yeah, no, so this isn't actually the... Wait, hang on. So this isn't the co-main event. Oh, this is like...
Yeah, so what they'll do is they do with the co-main event, you don't want two co-main events going in back-to-back because you need the audience to settle. So what they'll be doing is this match they know is going to get a big reaction. They'll let the crowd have the big reaction. Then, unfortunately, the 6-man tag match is going to be the one where they let the crowds get their breath back a little bit, and then they must have something decent planned for the Cody match if that's going on last. So, interesting to see if that's what they're doing. But it's a way of basically just labeling this as a co-main event because it's a chance for them to say you did co-main event, and it is a big deal, but not really doing it.
I forgot it was Cody against Brock. Sorry, go ahead.
It's okay. No, you're right. It's an easy mistake to make. Some of the matches we've said are happening on these streams haven't happened. You know, we just call matches randomly because again, for us it's 2:32 a.m. So we're like, you know, half asleep. So Kinney, you're absolutely fine. Don't worry about it. It's all good. What were we saying? So Andy, again with the wonderful analytical brain, you know, sort of describing why you don't have two main events back to back, and I hadn't really thought about that. Makes total sense why you wouldn't have those matches back to back. But yeah, this again, I'm very much in agreement with you guys now. This doesn't really, you know, this is not a good placement. I would have put Bad Bunny on last. Would have been the right call.
If he was winning, send the crowd home happy. Yeah, that'd be my thinking. This is why I think he's losing now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be, you don't really want him to win, really. Like, you want him to win for the pop, but you don't want him to win for storyline reasons anyway. So, and Damian is looking, honestly, Puerto Rico looks great on Damian. Wow, he is looking better than ever. So, he looked great yesterday.
He is wonderful, and I would highly recommend for anybody that doubts Damian's pedigree. He had a wonderful career as Punishment Martinez in Ring of Honor before this, but I would definitely advise people check out because Damian Priest is very talented. And probably one of my favorite musical interviews I've ever done, Damian Priest at Clash, again talking about his favorite bands. That's over on Soundsphere. Damian's a lovely guy to talk to, a great talent. So I believe Andy is looking to get out of here and go to bed and I guess watch a little bit of this in bed. So Andy, you have put in more than your shift tonight, so I appreciate you being here. It's always a pleasure to see you, mate. And thank you for all you bring to the podcast and your viewpoints and your points that are always 99.9% of the time correct compared to our ramblings. So I appreciate your analytical points as well. So thank you for that.
No worries. Well, thanks for having me. I will say before I go, the good news, I would say, if you look at it from the perspective of, are they really going to have Rhea go over and then straight away in the next match, are they going to have, are they going to go with Priest straight away? It would be a strange booking, but hey, maybe they're going to build it that way. I don't know. Either way, I think this is going to be a great match. So I think everyone's going to enjoy it. And I appreciate you all and appreciate you being here and have a lovely last 3 matches.
Nice one,
mate. Have a great night.
You've had nearly 4 hours of my face, haven't you, Andy? You've had nearly 4 hours of my face tonight. You must be sick of it.
4 hours. 4 hours.
No, there's a reason why I'm going to bed. It's after all the talk of false finishes and things like that. So
Oh, you want to properly finish in bed? Do you? Is that what you're saying?
It's Saturday night, bro.
Have a
He's
proper
understandably frustrated.
Exactly. Yeah. No one's left satisfied. So it's time to take matters into my own. I'm not going to finish the sentence. I'll see you later.
It's 25-3, mate. She's asleep. You've got no chance.
See you guys.
See you, man.
Good night. Have a good one.
Bye.
Yeah, good luck with that at 25-3. Are you awake, dear? No, bugger off. Anyway.
Yeah.
The only hand you're getting is one to the face.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Oh my lord.
Don's lost it.
And you've got no hope when the dog's on the bed. When the dog's on the bed, that's it. You just
Dom's gone. No, Dom has disappeared.
Oh,
Is he
Bad Bunny's-
giggling in the back end? He is. I can see him.
Oh, I'm doing
Bad
something
Bunny.
in the back end. Right. Sorry. I went. I got a little bit. I got a little bit too
Overexcited.
there. We got to see some fireworks for Bad Bunny. With some wonderful fireworks for Bad Bunny. Bad Bunny is coming out, and let's paying homage to Raven. Paying homage to Raven with the cart full of hardcore stuff. By the way,
WrestleMania 16, I think it was, where he did that originally.
Yeah, the car, Kinney. If you've never, I'm not going to assume you've never seen a Raven match, but if you haven't, go check them out. Wonderful hardcore wrestling. And anybody, anybody.
Has someone done an interview with him at one point?
Oh yeah, I did. So Raven is one of the.
You're it, Dan.
Thank you, mate. So Raven's one of the greatest hardcore. One of the greatest hardcore wrestlers of all time, and he came out in WWE years ago with a cart full of hardcore tools,
Goods.
and he's wonderful. He was an ECW World Champion. He was like a 29-time hardcore champion in WWE, and probably one of my favorite top 3 wrestlers of all time. And I interviewed him on Soundsphere. You can go check that out. It was a life-defining moment. We had a lovely chat. So go check out Raven matches. Go check out that interview. And back to the present day, Bad Bunny with his cart full of tools. As Kinney said, Damian Priest is looking fine. And Bad Bunny is looking like a. Bad Bunny's looking kind of.
He looks great. He honestly, he really got very built up for this match.
Yeah, man.
Bad Bunny.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, you're not in the studio now, kid.
Yeah.
You're not in the studio now.
I'm so excited for him.
Yeah, me too.
I know that's so weird, but this is like every Latino child's dream to be in a wrestling match. Like, he must be so excited.
Yeah.
He's probably so excited.
Yeah, man. Sorry, go on, Dan.
I mean, for Bad Bunny, up until him appearing in WWE, I hadn't really ever heard of him. But knowing now what I know about him being the biggest artist on the planet right now, and having him in your company, WWE must be loving the exposure that they're getting from this point.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Especially with them going to yeah.
Oh, he's so good. He's so good in the ring, and by all accounts,
great.
Yeah.
This is like a dream. Wow.
Yeah. I'm so happy.
So good.
He's so good. The
Nice
Michinoku
body
driver.
slam.
It was a Michinoku driver, wasn't it?
It was. Yes, it was.
Yeah.
Yes. But
sorry, I'm being a wrestling purist. No, Sam, it was a Michinoku driver.
Otherwise known as a fancy diagonal body slam.
The biggest recording artist in the world is about to take his kendo stick to Damian Priest. He's now you're right, Kitty. It must be so cool again for people from Puerto Rico to see Bad Bunny in this situation. Obviously, again, the biggest recording artist in the world. And again, by all accounts, a lovely human being. So from people.
Well, he's a huge wrestling fan too. Like, huge. Bad Bunny is. Like, he talked the first time he appeared in the ring, like in the wrestling ring at all. he talked about how he watched those clips over and over and over again for like months. At night, he would watch his match that he did with Damian Priest because he loves wrestling.
Yeah, man, it's great, and this is a great get for WWE to have. Yeah, to have Bad Bunny in this situation to
More eyes, yeah.
Absolutely, and also for Damian Priest too to be showcased at this level, because I do believe he deserves that. I do believe he deserves to have, these main event matches, these main event caliber matches.
Oh,
he's gotten so much better, Damian Priest. He was really, I think his mic skills have gotten so much better over time, and his ring work, his interactions with the audience. He's gotten a lot better at working the crowd.
Do you know, with him, it's like when he was Punishment Martinez in Ring of Honor, he was almost like their Undertaker. He didn't say much. He just came out, squashed someone, or had a feud with someone, had a violent feud. Where in NXT it was quite jarring because he started out as Punishment Martinez. Like he brought that gimmick to NXT, and then they refashioned him into Damian Priest. But the idea was he was a playboy. He went out, drank loads of beer, slept with loads of women. That was his gimmick. And they brought that same gimmick to the main roster. Then he was the whole Archer of Infamy gimmick, which I loved. Then they changed it to like a Jekyll and Hyde gimmick, didn't they? And before putting him in Judgment Day, it was almost like they couldn't quite decide what they wanted to do with him until Judgment Day. A little bit.
Yeah.
I'm just going through all those little subtle gimmick changes. It's I think maybe he's coming to his own now. But I wonder what they're going to do with him when they turn him face. Is he going to go back to the Archer of Infamy thing? Or is he going to go back to any of that? I'm curious. I don't know. Thank God they got rid of the Jekyll and Hyde thing, though. That was going to be ridiculous.
So,
I think.
Go on, Kenny.
Go ahead.
No, it's okay. You're more important than me. In this
No.
As a special guest, so go ahead.
Nobody's more important than anybody else here.
I like that. I like that.
Go ahead. What were you gonna say?
I was just thank you.
Obviously.
You're a star. I was just gonna say that again, the Jekyll and Hyde gimmick could have been great. I love stuff like that. I was just saying to somebody else the other day, that's actually one of my favorite stories. And if they did that well, it could have been a really good gimmick. But again, they didn't really feel like they knew what they were doing with it with Damian Priest. And it didn't have enough time to gestate to create anything. So now, Kinney, what were you gonna say? Sorry.
I just want to say, Damian Priest pulling Bad Bunny's shoulder up so that he can. That was brilliant. Wow, that was so, and he played that moment so good. That was so good. So that he didn't. So that Bad Bunny beat the count, but that it was really Priest like beating the count for Bad. Oh, that was such a good moment. Wow. That was great. I was gonna say, Archer of Infamy is fine. It just lacks clarity.
Yeah, it was a tagline, wasn't it? Rather than it was a fun entrance though.
Yeah, and that's the problem with basically all of the characters that WWE assigns to their talent. Like, they don't have clarity and they don't actually have substance. It's just a cool tagline, kind of cool entrance sometimes that's mostly unrelated, and then a kind of cool ring gear most of the time also unrelated. And I'm like, what's going on here, guys? Like, what are we doing? Does any of this work together? Is there cohesion? Is there a character here? Or did you all just slap some stuff together and be like, now you're a character? And this poor person is just here like, I guess I'm a character. Yeah, they call me the Archer of Infamy. Like, these were like, what?
That's who I am.
Like, of course they're confused. We're confused. Everybody's confused because they have no idea what's going on. Like, they need more. Everybody needs more. Like, and they have the money, they have the time, they have the resources. They just don't give a shit. They don't care.
Yeah. I think you're right, Kitty. And like say, that's the thing, isn't it? When you have the money, you can either use it productively or you can also afford not to care. And I think WWE more often than not just doesn't care enough unless something catches fire immediately, or enough fan backlash. And the Daniel Bryan thing was the classic example of that.
Right.
They had to pay attention to that.
Right.
And there are other examples, countless other examples as well, but the sort of immediate kind of pickups. I'm trying to think of one. Was, I guess, Roman Reigns when he turned heel. The Fiend, I believe, at least at the start, was very popular from the beginning. So there are examples of things that have just blown up immediately. Very rarely do WWE give time to things that take time. You know what I mean? Like, like if they'd have taken time to develop the Archer of Infamy gimmick or the Jekyll and Hyde gimmick, then maybe we'd be talking about Damian Priest in a different way.
Exactly.
But we're just seeing Bad Bunny take some kendo sticks to Damian Priest, but Damian Priest has blocked it, so Damian in control. Bad Bunny looks great here, guys, and Damian Priest and Bad Bunny have obviously really worked hard to build this match. Nice little moment there with Bad Bunny taking a move from two moves from Damian Priest there, the head clap and then the Vulcan arrow. So clearly they're referencing the fact that Damian Priest was actually a huge part of Damian Priest. Damian Priest trained Bad Bunny at the start.
Oh, what was the very first match?
Yeah.
It was Bad Bunny and Damian Priest going against Miz and Morrison at WrestleMania 37. So over 2 years, this match has technically been in storyline because there was teaming each other in their very first match, and now they're going head to head.
I want to go ahead.
And Bad Bunny did a suicide dive earlier, just a little bit ago. Too, and it was great.
Looks like Damian Priest could be busted open.
Yeah, Damian Priest got a busted lip open.
Hard way. Unless it's deliberate. Oh, look at that.
Oh. He said, let's go.
Oh, man. Damian Priest is going. He's trying to get out of here.
Oh, you big girl.
Playing heel so well.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Damian Priest does not want anything to do with that. And Bad Bunny's got his trash can.
He's taking out the trash.
Oh, Damian Priest suckered Bad Bunny in there, guys. Suckered him in.
He said, vamos. Oh.
And then Damian Priest, taking
so good
from the back of Bunny. It's the right call to have Bad Bunny win this, right, guys? It is the right call to have him win this. I'm thinking because he's not looking like the stronger. He's not looking particularly strong right now. Are we sort of telling the underdog story where Bad Bunny is not the wrestler, but he's gonna overcome the odds? That's what I think is happening here. Bad Bunny is going to win. I don't know if you guys disagree. Kinney, your thoughts on who's going to eventually win this one?
I would be really surprised if they gave it to Bad Bunny. I'm going to be real, because they've been pushing and building each individual member of the Judgment Day so carefully. The Judgment Day storyline has not been built very carefully. I will say it's been pretty sloppy, but they have been being pretty careful about building each individual member as well as the stable itself. Like, they want to push them, they want to build them. So I'd be pretty surprised to see Damian take a loss, especially to somebody like Bad Bunny, who isn't in the company, doesn't need a win. There isn't a specific reason why Bad Bunny in particular needs to win today, except for the pop in this moment. But they're both Puerto Rican, you know what I mean? Like, it would be good for, like, they're both in their hometown. Like, it's a feel good moment for both of them to win today, to have this match today. So I like it either way. But I would be surprised to see Damian take a loss today. Okay. But it's a good match. It's a good match. I'm very surprised.
Yeah, I'm really impressed with this. And obviously they're taking it into the crowd now as well. So it isn't just going to be, this isn't going to be just an in-ring affair. This is they are making it a hardcore thing. And it's really cool to see Bad Bunny willing to take these kind of spots. And it goes back to what you were saying, Kinney. You know, Big Bad Bunny's such a huge wrestling fan. He's probably dreamt about taking these big, almost not dangerous spots because he's trained and they're all trained, but you know, these massive spots that a lot of people wouldn't take these. You know what I mean? You would not take a Vulcan arrow through probably some cardboard. Yeah, probably some cardboard boxes, but you know, we're supposed to think it's a table. So, you know.
Oh, no, it is tables.
The crowd is going wild. Wow.
Yeah, man.
Wow.
For myself, I'd quite like to see, just to give it more of a feel for where they are. It was pointed out by Michael having the IWO help Bad Bunny, the LWO, sorry. You could have Balor come out, try and help Damian Priest, and then have the LWO come out and make the save to help Bad Bunny get that win.
Yeah,
it doesn't feel out of place. It doesn't feel out of place for any
would
point
be
of
nice.
That.
Yeah,
and it gives the crowd another pop, which I think would be a great thing to do. I mean, in Clash at the Castle, we didn't get the big pop that we wanted, but they could give the crowd. They could learn the lesson from Clash at the Castle and give the Puerto Rican crowd the pop that they want, which is that Bad Bunny win.
Absolutely.
With the LWO behind them.
Absolutely.
I thought Daivari was going to get battered then. I thought he was in trouble.
Was that Daivari?
Yeah, that was the older Daivari. Yeah, I reckon. Judgment Day are going to come out and help Priest. LWO are going to come out. If this was going on last, I'd say Bad Bunny's winning, but because it's in the middle of the card, I kind of agree with Kinney. I think they'll give it to the wrestler because he's the guy who has to turn up every week.
Are they taking this forward then? Are they taking this to the next pay-per-view, guys? Are they taking this to? Because I mean, if Priest wins, presumably that they can squeeze some more juice out of this. You would say
if Bad Bunny's, if he has the time and
he has the time.
Right? Like if he could, I'm sure he would want to. One thing I would be interested in seeing, because Zelina lost, I would love to see Zelina give the assist.
Ooh.
Right? And get a kind of pseudo win out of this, because Bad Bunny doesn't need the win, but Zelina could use one. Right?
Absolutely. Very interesting point there, Kinney. Yeah.
So
absolutely.
That could be really good. So I like that, like LWO coming in, and instead of Ray getting, which it's usually Ray who does the like whatever and gets whatever, but having Zelina do like the thing, whatever it's gonna be. Have Zelina do the thing.
Nice. That's a really interesting take, because we've just seen Bad Bunny work on the leg of Damian Priest again. So
that was nice.
That wrestling knowledge there of Damian Priest to be able to work on that leg. Really, really nice little detail there. Again, the quality of Bad Bunny's work.
So good, right? So impressive.
Absolutely. And there he is working on that leg. He's working on that leg, keeping the pressure on, which is, it's really cool. Really cool. I love seeing this.
I like that I don't have to resent Bad Bunny, not like Logan Paul. Like Logan Paul's good in the ring, and I resent him for it. I'm like, please leave.
Yeah.
I don't care that you're good. Go away.
Stop being good. Yeah.
Like, of course you're good. You have nothing but time and money and resources. Like, why wouldn't you be good? You're an able-bodied person with time, money, and resources. But Bad Bunny's good at it. And I'm like, yeah, you go. Go on. Go be good. You love it.
Yeah.
I can just be happy for him.
Yeah, absolutely, because that love is there. Absolutely. I get that enthusiasm 100%. Absolutely. Damian Bad Bunny took the chair to Damian Priest's leg. Oh man, that looks so harsh. We'll address some of these comments. I know there's quite a few, so we'll address them after this match, guys. I do apologize that we're not addressing some of these. We will get to them, but we are transfixed with Bad Bunny's great turn as a hardcore wrestler, destroying Damian Priest. Damian Priest is begging Bad Bunny not to hit him.
Hit him.
Yeah.
Do it again. Do it again.
After this match, guys, I'm going to go and get a cup of tea. I won't be very long.
Oh, yeah.
I'm English, Kenny, and if I don't have one every hour, I start getting. It's like it's worse than a nicotine addiction.
You turn into a scone. I was gonna say a pumpkin, but
A pumpkin.
a biscuit, a scone.
A biscuit, because we have biscuits. Biscuits are cookies in the UK.
Yeah.
And the low blow from Bad Bunny. So Sam, you have full caffeine tea, don't you, at this time?
I'm going to have to, mate. Yeah,
Delicious.
I wouldn't normally. I wouldn't like. Let's say if I was going to bed normal time, I'd have chamomile by this point. But yeah, I like Jess has decaf like after 8 o'clock. But if I'm on stream, I'll have full. Thing is, because I know full well, I'll go upstairs and hit the pillow and go bang like that.
Right.
And I'm off. I've got nothing to do tomorrow apart from relax. So I've got to the gym. So I don't care.
To be fair, yeah, I might have a jam on toast tea, because I'm starting to feel it, and the jam on toast tea is like full caffeine. So anyway, as we
Did I call it? Did we call it?
Yeah.
Here comes Ray.
Yeah. So Finn's out there.
What's Finn got on him?
Oh, he's got his new T-shirt.
What's
Finn
going
14
on?
Staples.
Hang on, wait.
Oh, I see.
Oh no
Here you
way.
go. Booyaka, booyaka.
Carlito's here.
Oh no,
Yes!
it's Carlito.
Yeah.
Hide your apples.
He's in the DLC for 2K23. This might be Carlito.
What?
Yeah, this might
What?
Yeah, Carlito. Yes.
No way.
Yo.
Yeah, backstabber.
Right,
Yes.
Bad Bunny's winning now. Bad Bunny's winning.
Yay.
He looks phenomenal.
He looks
He looks better than he
amazing.
did in his WWE run.
That's what yes.
Yeah, so he's in the
He didn't
game.
even look this ripped during his run.
Yeah, so he's in the game, and I think he's
The
coming
apple.
back. The apple.
Oh, Dom. Oh, Dominic Mysterio, you silly
Oh, this
boy.
is great, man.
Oh my god, break him in half.
Things are about to get fruity.
Break him in half.
Spit the apple on him, Carlito. That's what you paid for.
Yes!
There you go. That's the grossest gimmick ever.
More than Boogeyman.
What wasn't a very
eating away.
COVID-friendly gimmick, is it?
Oh.
Oh man, Carlito's here. This is great.
They've had enough of the apple. Finn Balor, a former world champion, has had
Sammy
enough of the apple.
Omega's coming. Sammy Omega's coming out.
Oh wow.
Between Jay's stuck between a rock and a hard place now.
You want to be stuck in my
Oh wow. Oh wow. The pop.
If this was Vega 20 years ago, I'd be terrified. But Vega now, I'd be like, I think I can outrun you. Yeah, I'm gonna but yeah, if he catches me, I'm dead. Yeah,
He's
if he
still
catches
doing it.
Yeah, he's been working in MLW for the past couple of years, on and off. Yeah, he's been good there. Only in like street fights and stuff, but like, because he can still go, and the smoke and mirrors they can do in street fights. They can still look like he can do what he could do back in the day when he was awesome. Like he's still awesome. He's a legend, but obviously, I think he's suffering from a little bit of what's he called? Just went in the Hall of Fame. We were there. God, great Muta. Like legs are, and
the wheels are slowly starting to come off in a way.
I think he's just taking a lot of bumps.
What?
Yeah.
Wait.
Who's this now?
LWO as well. LWO.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Wait, what?
The rest of the LWO. The rest of the LWO. So,
okay.
Legado and
Love
Savio and
So
Carlito.
One of the people are getting beaten down that's not the con Dom. Do you have a little bit to say about him, Dom?
So what are you trying to say?
Mr. Balor.
Oh, I'll do that in a minute.
Okay.
Because I do have an interview with Finn Balor, but
There we go.
there's an interesting point here, because there's a lot more people that are on the LWO than they are for Judgment Day, and there is a rumor now that that there's going to be some more Judgment Day members.
JD Madonna.
like JD, including JD McDonough. So I think they could be running this back. I think they could do this again.
Or is
Now-
JD going to come out now and attack Savio Vega?
Nah.
I think that'd be a bad call.
This is the LWO's time, man. Savio Vega with those chops, man.
Yeah.
Great to see Savio Vega. Great to see Carlito. Once again, as I was saying before, Carlito is in 2K23. So that suggests to me that he's coming back for a quick run in WWE. But he was in the Rumble 2 years ago and then didn't.
Yeah.
So, so we'll see. But fingers crossed. I'm hoping. A figure 4 leg lock now by Bad Bunny. Damian Priest selling the hell out of it.
Applied well. Really nicely done.
Excellent question, Misfit Gamer. Why is this not the main event? Yeah.
They must have something special planned for the main event. That's all. Like Andy must be right. There must be, we're all getting laid in the main event or something. I don't know. Like that's all I can assume.
Everybody's going to finish.
Well, yeah, we're all going to finish. We're all going to get tea and biscuits at the same time.
Yeah, I'm so excited about.
What's the main event? It's Brock and Cody, right?
Yeah,
it will be.
Yeah, we're even going to get crumpets.
Damian Priest was going for the South of Heaven, a roll up from Bad Bunny too. Kick out by Damian Priest. This is massive, guys. This is a great match.
Wow, that roll up.
Yeah,
what a beautiful roll up. That was so good.
The spear into the chair. Oh, man.
See, this is when overbooked stuff works, isn't it? This is like this is when you might as well throw in the kitchen sink.
Sliced bread number 2, which was good. It was great to see a sliced bread number 2, but Bad Bunny came down on his head. But that sliced bread number 2 was okay until that point. I'm not sure that was meant to go down the way it did, but a great sliced bread to a point by Bad Bunny there.
Did you see him go, "Oh, come on," after he kicked out?
Yeah. Bunny with the chairs, second chair shot, third chair shot, fourth, fifth, sixth. How many chairs? 7 chair shots.
So good.
Yeah, man, it's good. Bad Bunny now riling up the crowd. This is good, guys. This should have main evented. Misfit Gamer says, best overbook. Yeah, and Sam said, this is great. Really well done. Are we gonna get a Canadian destroyer?
Taylor. Oh, come on. I know.
Oh,
there are worse ones to Google, Taylor. I'd say, in my opinion.
That sunset flip! Wow!
Bad Bunny got the win.
I'm shocked. Wow! So this is definitely going again. They're running this back.
I hope
amazing.
So.
They are going to run it back.
They're going to run this back for sure. That was incredible.
Can I just say this was a great pay-per-view.
So good. That was so good.
Yeah, that was brilliant, and I hope they run it back. I really do. That is going to be that is going to happen again, and it should. That was fantastic.
Does it need to? Devil's advocate. Does it need to? What do you
mean, does it need to? You're telling me you don't want to see Carlito in a match. You're telling me you don't want to see Savio Vega on the outside managing the LWO.
No, I wasn't referring to that. I was referring to a rematch of this one.
No, it won't be like this. It won't be a one-on-one. It'll be a 8-man or something. LWO.
War Games.
War game!
I'd be game for that. Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, so
I bet it'll be a war game.
I thought you meant it'd be a rematch because I'd be fine with the war games. I really hope they don't stuff war games into Survivor Series every year. I hope they bring it out when it needs it. Do you know what I mean?
Same as Hell in a Cell. Same as everything else. All stipulation.
Yeah. Like I like Elimination Chamber being where it is because it's usually for a spot at Mania, like the Rumble. But when it comes to Hell in a Cell and War Games, roll them out.
Story should dictate it.
Dictate it. Yes,
Yeah.
roll it out when a few, like that. Because people say that about Elimination Chamber, but I disagree. Elimination Chamber is a set event before Mania, where Hell in a Cell and War Games, they can happen anytime when a feud reaches that bitterness. And although this would be great in War Games, imagine that in War Games, that'd be nuts with everyone involved, even Vega.
I would love that. I would love that so much. Yeah. So we've got the LWO raising Bad Bunny high up in the air. Legado there, Carlito as well.
Savio Vega.
Savio Vega, of course. Yeah. Great little moment for all these guys.
I'm going for my cup of tea, guys. I shan't be long.
All right, Sam.
And Michael's going as well, Michael Pagnotta. Thank you very much for joining, Michael. We shall see you.
Thank you, Michael.
I will see you on Monday Night Raw in 48 hours time-ish, somewhere on there.
Mate, how do you do it? Like, how do you
know it? How I do it.
But man, I know energy drinks and snacks and stuff, but come on, man. Do you not just want to? I mean, I love having you here. Like, you know, you're one of my best mates. I love you to pieces, Dan. But I am, sometimes I'm like, dude, I'm amazed by you. I'm concerned that your insides might just be running, like energy drinks. But what I'm saying is, you can go to bed if you want. Just rest if you want.
I mean,
but
I could say I'm at work in 6 hours.
What? Yeah, I know you're at work. That's what I mean. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Don't you're at work in 6 hours, so go to bed.
Sleep when you're dead.
Yeah, here.
That's what young people say. That's what people Kinney's age say.
I mean, how old are you, Dom?
How old do you think I am?
You're 30, right, Kinney? Is that?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm 36, and Dan's just a bit older than you. So, because you're like, go on.
Us two young people sticking together, we can sleep when we're dead.
Exactly.
I'm 34.
There we go. It's like the same age.
Yeah, more or less.
I'm closer to 30 than I am to 40.
Exactly.
Yeah. There you go.
Exactly.
But no,
honestly, it's all a mindset.
Yeah,
exactly.
I love my wrestling. I love watching wrestling. I love talking about wrestling. I love being able to talk with
wrestling
people about
with
wrestling.
Me? Yeah. You want to wrestle with me, don't you?
I mean, that usually includes a little bit of squirty cream as well.
Yeah, I mean, we'll mix it up. We'll mix it up, So
squirty cream and gravy.
Yeah, maybe some gravy.
Is there always a camera involved, or is that optional?
Oh, it's optional.
That depends if they're paying for it on only
Dan's.
I see.
Only Dan's.
There's got to be money involved.
Yeah, only Dan's.dom. Yeah.
Taylor knows me too well. Taylor knows me. I run on ship space.
Right, we should probably do some comments while there's a break between matches, and we missed a bunch. Let's. Right, where are we? Where are we at? Hang on.
Have you not heard of chip space before, Kenny?
Oh my god! Oh my god! As if you're gonna do this now.
What?
I'm not. Do you start it? Right. Right.
So
okay.
I'm going to make it nice and easy. We can all have a quick sort of 30-second break because I'm going to play something.
Hi guys, it is Dom here from the Gimme a Hull Yeah Wrestling podcast. This episode is proudly sponsored by Hull's own original American chip spice. If you'd like to find out more about this delicious seasoning, you can do so at americanchipspice.co.uk or linktree.com/chipspice. That's CHIPSPIC. I'm excited, I hope you are too. Hull yeah. Right, okay, so chip spice, right, it's like seasoning that you put on fries, a special seasoning that is branded American chip spice, but it's actually made right here in Hull, in East Yorkshire, and it's our, outside of the Beautiful South, which was a pop band from the sort of 1980s to 1990s, it is our international delicacy. It hasn't reached, ironically, even though it's branded American chip spice, it hasn't reached America yet. But it goes out to other parts of the UK. Europe gets it as well. And next time I come over to the US, which will be later on this year, I'm going to be visiting Seattle.
Bring me some.
I'm going to be visiting Seattle and Boston and friends. So I'm going to come and see you because I got friends in New York as well.
Please, yes.
So I'll bring you some chip spice and you can have it on your. Do you like fries?
I do. I love them. Who doesn't?
Okay. Yeah, well, there you go. We'll put some chip spice on your fries. It's really good. It's not spicy. It's more like flavoring. Yeah, it's more like flavoring. You add it and it gives it a little bit of extra something. You know.
So, as a person who is not from Hull, who has chip spice, what are your thoughts on chip spice, Sam?
I'm massively a fan of chip spice, and I appreciate you, Dan, bringing me 2 tubs of that to LA. Sort of for me to take home with me. And it's in my. I think I'm already halfway through one of them.
Yeah,
because I've been putting it on everything. Do you know what I like to do? I like to get a kebab and I get some chips, and I absolutely drench it. Or the other day I brought home some KFC. Like I had like an absolute ton of KFC, and I thought, oh my god, I've got chip spice in the cupboard, and I ran in there and I just doused everything, like the fries, the chicken in chip spice, and it was amazing. Do you know when you have cheap KFC from like a kebab shop? It's not quite, but they always put the red salt on it. It's like that because KFC don't do that themselves. It was like the best of both worlds. It was awesome. So yeah, it's massively over with me, chip spice.
So that's chip spice. Kinney wants to get excited about the Usos being out here. I'm assuming that's why you've stopped us from talking about chip spice.
Oh no, I was just throwing out my one. I got to.
The ones. She's got to do the We the Ones thing.
I got to. I got to every time. Every time I do it, I'm like, am I in a cult?
Yeah, I feel like you are.
Literally, at me throwing out my one alone in a room, like, am I in a cult?
Yeah, we're all here with you. We're all here with you. Full of maniacs united. We'll all do it with you. It's all good. It's all good. Right. Well, while the Usos are coming up, I'll try and get through some comments. Let's see. I'm convinced Bad Bunny watched New Jack matches before this show. New Jack is whatever you think, he's definitely a king of hardcore matches.
At least he didn't watch any Nick Gage.
From GCW. Yeah, that was amazing. I hope Carlito isn't a one-off thing. I hope he signed. Well, like I said, he is DLC for 2K23, which suggests to me they only put DLC in if they're going to do something with the characters. So it would make sense for them to bring back Carlito. Dan, you gave me an opportunity earlier to plug something because Finn Balor was out there. I do have an interview with Finn Balor over on Soundsphere magazine. You can check that out. Go and check out Soundsphere magazine, please.
Wait, did you see the Yeti in the background?
No?
He's holding a sign that says "I do exist," and then it says #Feed Your Wild Side.
Amazing.
It must be an ad for something, but that's hilarious. I did some up in a full Yeti suit and says "I do exist."
I love that. As Riddle's coming out, Kevin Owens, Dan runs purely on Hull's chip spice. Taylor will get you some as well. Don't you worry. You can have some.
I really got to try that.
Oh yeah, well,
I'll try it at some point. I will.
Yeah,
it's on my list now.
Kenny's actually on the mark with that Feed Your Wild Side. I've just had a quick Google search, and there is actually a YouTube channel called Feed Your Wild Side, and it's basically a video sharing group with a massive Yeti as their character.
Oh, there you go.
That's smart.
Subscribing right away.
What?
I said I'm subscribing to that stuff right now.
Did you get your cup of tea? You didn't leave that to brew very long, did you?
I gave it 2 minutes.
Man, it needs 5 minutes.
minutes.
What?
No, 2 minutes is fine.
5 minutes. You don't leave a cup of tea to brew for 2 minutes, you heathen.
Oxford University said 6 minutes is the perfect time for an ideal brewing tea.
Oh no.
6 minutes. 6 minutes.
Yes.
Does it all depend on what kind of tea?
Yes.
right?
And,
Like if it's green, if it's black, what kind of tea leaf?
This is a black tea, bog standard Yorkshire tea, and I think 2 minutes is just fine. And from the tea documentary that we watched, that was on a year or two ago. Do you remember that? The Perfect Cup of Tea. They said 2 minutes is fine, but if you want
It's
it even
fine.
stronger,
It's not perfect.
Leave it longer.
I'm gonna go brew a cup of tea for 6 minutes. I'm gonna do full caffeine. Emma's gonna hate me.
I mean, once you get back out, I'll go into the backstage.
Buzzing around.
You're what? You'll go into my backstage stuff?
No, I'm going to go into the background where I'm
So
just doing
bold,
the admin
Dan.
side and not see
So
it.
bold.
I want you here, Dan. I love you and your beautiful goatee.
I mean, the problem was I said I was going to come in. I'd get the stream started until you turned up, and then I was going to just go off stream because I'm tired, and I was going to sort of nap in between. But
okay,
I mean,
right. That's
over
cool.
2 hours in. I don't think that's going to happen.
All right.
Your matches to go. You might as well stick it out.
All right, no, it's fine. I'll go make me tea, and then you can tag out. All right,
that's fine. I'm watching UFC at the same time as well.
Oh, nice one.
Wow.
I noticed you still got the belt there. Are you the champion still?
I'm still a champion. I got the most WrestleMania predictions right.
Have you seen the belt, Kenny?
I haven't. I've eyed it though, and I've appreciated it. Wow. That's really nice. That's really nice. I can appreciate like a good belt.
We love
That's
it.
beautiful.
That's where it's staying.
We love it. We swap it. We swap it around.
It's my belt.
We swap
when you
around,
try and get it off me.
I'll get something off you, but we try and swap it round like locally because we can't be asked to I can't be asked to post it to where Sam is because it's like it cost me like I don't know £14 or for you
it's a heavy ass thing, isn't it? So
$16 something like that. So I can't be asked to post it to Sam. I sure as hell can't be asked to post it to you, Kenny. So you could be the honor if you win predictions, because we do predictions for some pay-per-views that matter, not Backlash. We do predictions for PLEs or whatever. So if you ever become the Give Me a Hull Yeah champion, you can be the honorary champion, but you just can't have the belt. But you can
send me a picture of it. I'll put it on my wall.
It is something that you can all win. You can all win. Everybody in the comments can win it. People in the comments can win it. People on stream can win it. You just can't have the belt because I can't be asked to post it to you. But
if you do win as well, if you're not one of the 3 presenters, you do get a signed postcard congratulating yourself from us 3.
Well, you would, and I'm pretty sure we owe. Like a lot of those postcards.
I don't know if Ant is keeping on top of them.
I don't think he is. I don't think he is keeping on them. We've had a lot of requests for those postcards. People have paid us for them.
Backlog.
we just haven't sent them to anyone at all. Sorry if we owe anybody a postcard that's saying I'm really sorry. We'll get there eventually. I'll bring it's a lot of American followers. So when I bring Kenny's Chip Spice over, I'll bring you all your postcards over and just do like a little tour of the US to all the people that have
no, what he's going to do, he's going to just drop it from the Statue of Liberty. You just have to be at the bottom to pick them up, basically. can't say it fairer than that. That's what we're going to do.
Right, I'm going to go make my brew. I'll see you guys in a sec. Bye.
He's getting a cup of tea now too. But so if he's going to be gone 6 minutes, that's not the perfect cup of tea. That's just taking it. Oh,
mate. Hang on. How well do you know me? I'm going to be gone at least like 15. I got to get down the stairs. I got to get up the stairs. I mean, it's a thing. So, at least 15, 20. So if I'm back sooner than that, then, it'll be a bloody miracle.
Fair enough. But then you're going to make a 10-minute cup of tea on top of that. We're not seeing him again now. But no, I'm sure we will. I'm sure
it'll pop up just as the main event is finishing.
Yeah. I feel like we're all a bit exhausted for this match, and I feel like if this had been on sooner, are we going to get the storyline we want out of this? I don't know.
I think the crowd for this match, they don't look as hyped for this, and I don't think the Brock and Cody match should live up to the hype of the Bad Bunny match.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't think it will.
You've got. So I mean, like with the Drew McIntyre and Roman match at Clash at the Castle, it was main event for two reasons. You had the World Championship on the line, or the Undisputed Universal Championship, and you had a guy from the UK in the match. That was the whole story of it. It was his wrestling in, they called it in his backyard. It wasn't his backyard. It was,
I know, how ridiculous was that?
200, 300, 400 miles away.
A different country.
Yeah. There's two countries in between.
Yes.
And,
the whole hometown. What?
Yeah.
The entire framing of that was really funny to me.
Yeah.
The entire framing of that, the way they kept framing it as like a homecoming, and then it would be like Wales, and I was like, "What?
The guy's Scottish. Yeah.
This man is Scottish.
Well, look,
like,
I had someone,
what's happening?"
I had a guy argue with me on Facebook. They were going, "You do know it's his hometown," and I was like, "Bro, it's not even his home country."
Yeah.
And there was
even from here, not to be like, but
the UK is the UK. I'm like, and you know, but there are people forget. You know, there are several countries within that, and we were saying I was saying to this guy, dude, he was like, he's English, you know. I was like, no, he bloody isn't. He said he's Scottish.
You just need to listen to him. You don't even need to see him.
Yeah, I was like, and I had to explain to this guy the difference between Britain and England, the difference between Britain, England, and the UK, and the difference between Scotland and Wales and England, and he just couldn't get his head around it. And I was like, I wouldn't mind, but the guy was from Texas somewhere, has probably never left San Antonio, and was telling me the geography and the history of the United Kingdom. I'm like, dude, which one of us do you think knows more, me or you?
I mean,
no, it's you for sure.
I'm fairly confident I know more about American history than him. I'm fairly confident I do. But anyway,
I have had a quick Google. From where Drew was born in Scotland to Cardiff, it is a 7-hour drive.
Yep.
Which isn't your back garden.
Mate, do you know how long it took me to get to Cardiff for Clash at the Castle? It took me 6 hours, and I'm only in Preston. So, you know, it took ages. But we, you know, obviously we had a wicked weekend. It was amazing. But and we went to Barry Island. It was what a beautiful place. It was amazing. Fish and chips, beer, the best. The
accent that it was just doing, it was the sort of South Wales accent. If you ever want to know the most thing about it, there's a show that was on the BBC called Gavin and Stacey.
It's on in America too, because James Corden's the star.
James Corden is one of the main stars of there, but it's a great little heartwarming show. But it's really good.
Gavin and Stacey. It's very. It's about an English guy falls in love with a Welsh girl, and they're very, very different. But it's really funny. And there's quite a lot of big celebrities in it. More in the UK, but it's the thing that put James Corden on the map. It's the thing that made him a household name, and it's also one of the reasons he's leaving his chat show is so he can come back and do like regular more episodes of that. Because they left it on a cliffhanger and people are clamoring out for it, but it's got a big international audience as well as just in the UK. But it's put the town it's set in, Barry, which is a Welsh seaside resort, and one of the only ones in the UK that is still nice. It's like it's put that town on the map completely. Like when me and my wife we went for a day out there before Clash at the Castle because it's not far. And it was Gavin and Stacey this, Gavin and Stacey that. It was everywhere. It was so good though. It was lovely.
Yeah.
But
that's really cool to like have. You know what I mean? For little towns like that, it can be really helpful. Yeah. It can be kind of like a double-edged sword, especially for people who actually live there. But it can be really helpful for like cash flow for the town and stuff.
Well, there's the house, like there's a house where the character Stacey was living in. And it's just like a row of terrace houses, but the people who actually live there have got so much attention from people coming there and taking pictures outside the house. Wow. They've actually set up a business letting people walk around the house and see it.
I love that. Make that money. Make it. Make that money, honey.
Catriana, that's an interesting question. Gimme a Hull, yeah, is do you mean who's the person doing the comment? It's all of us together, but I think right now it's whoever's signed into the account, which is probably Dom, because I think
that'll be Dom on the YouTube channel.
Yeah, but it could be Catriona, it could be me, it could be Dan, it could be Ant, it could be Dom, it could also be Sassy or Jack at any times because they're mods. Yeah. So it could be pretty much anyone, which is why we talk with the collective we, but it's usually Dom in this instance. Jack comes on as him, doesn't he? Usually.
Yeah, but yeah, the shirt itself was written by Ruth Jones, who was one of the stars of the show, and James Corden, and another very similar sort of show in the same sort of etiquette of it took a very small place and made a very big tourist destination. Is a show called Fawlty Towers, which in the UK, that is like what Dallas is in the US.
Did you just compare Dallas to Fawlty Towers?
In terms of it's got such a following, people will live and die on the show. There was only over 12 episodes of the show, 2 seasons of 6 episodes, but it's just got such a legacy of UK comedy. It was one of the best sitcoms probably of the past 50 years in the UK. But it was basically written by one of the guys who was part of Monty Python, John Cleese. And he and a couple of people wrote it. Well, his wife wrote it, starred in the show with him. But this is...
This is the Innkeepers? They own... Yeah, I've seen a couple of episodes of this.
Yeah, it's classic, yeah.
They've got Manuel, who's basically sort of little porter type guy. And it's... You couldn't do half of that comedy now because of the sort of social culture change. Yeah. But you'll look back at it and you can laugh because it's of its time. The show itself was really entertaining. And there's a lot of shows in the UK that do have similar things. Only Fools and Horses is a great example. It was London-based. It was of the time. But, I mean, like, that went for years. And it's just we seem to have shows that don't run for very long, but get such a cultural following a few years after it's finished. That
those, like, cult classics.
More. Yeah. I mean, there's one that was a US show that I absolutely love. They did 4 seasons of it back in 1970s. I think it was like 97, 98. 78, 79. And it was a show called Soap.
Yeah.
And not a lot of people have ever heard of it across here, but it is a show that had some massive stars in at the time before they became big, world-famous stars. But it was just such a ridiculously entertaining show. It was hilarious.
What was it called?
It was called Soap. And it was basically a sitcom about 2 families, but it just took everything to the extreme. And it was just ridiculous. But yeah, I mean, it's like going on for 40, 50 years old. But it was... I can put it on now, and I am absolutely doubled over with laughter at some of the situations that are in there. But yeah, if people haven't, Soap is a show to check out. It is very hard to find right now.
Yeah.
Nice CSI Miami reference there, Norma. Other Who.
I was going to say it's more of a Who reference for me.
Yeah, I know, but you can't.
I don't like Who. Miami.
Yeah, but you can't. You got to do Horatio. You're going to put your hands on your hips, put your shades on, and make a crap one-liner, and then wow. Anyway, I just want.
Yeah. I preferred New York over Miami. That's the problem.
Yeah. Kenny.
Who doesn't? To be fair, I've never been to Miami. I've never been to Florida.
You never been to Florida?
I've never been to Florida.
I'm jealous. I've been about.
I haven't traveled very much. I've been to California. I traveled a little bit more now, like later in my life. But I grew up in California, very big family, and really spent like most of my life in California up until I moved to New York for school.
I was going to say because I've only ever met you in California, not New York.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
Yeah. But I was gonna say, I think the 6-man tag is meant to be like a little bit of a breather, and I think that the Bloodline in general are very good at doing like these slow burn build matches, and I think they did a great job of getting this crowd like back in it, because the crowd is really responsive. Like they were
Oh.
responsive at the beginning, but they're really in it now. Like you can tell that the crowd is really paying attention to the match. They're really enraptured.
I feel like this feud blew off at Mania, and now I'm ready for the storyline to develop, because it's like, it's not that I don't want to see them wrestle again. I'm fine. Like I think Sammy, Kevin, and the Usos can wrestle for the end of time and always put on good matches, but they've had their rematch. They lost. This, like, they've got, if they don't do something after this, it's just, I suppose it's just there to be a showcase and nothing more. And I'd like this whole pay-per-view has been so good so far. That'd be a letdown. I hope I really want to see some storyline here. And my God, Kevin Owens is good. Look at him.
Yeah.
Oh,
well,
what do you got?
Sorry, I want to see this. Ooh.
Yeah, that was nuts.
I think what's hard about the Bloodline too is their storylines take time. They take a lot of time. Yeah, you can't. I don't think we're gonna get anything to. What's gonna be important here is who wins and who loses, because it's gonna tell you a lot about what happens going forward and where we're gonna be.
Yeah.
And what you can. Because Roman's supposed to be on SmackDown next week.
Ooh.
And we kind of got forewarning from Solo on SmackDown yesterday.
Yeah.
With Solo being like, all I know is, right, because Jay was getting in Solo's face being like, yo, like, what's up? And Solo wasn't really having it. Solo was like, nah, like, I'm going to do my job. You two have to do your job. And so that's where it's at now. It's literally like, okay, so Solo's going to do his job. Are Jimmy and Jay going to do theirs? And if they don't, what happens? So we're at that tipping point now, that balancing point. That's what this match is. It's literally, now this match is literally the Usos and the Bloodline at a balancing point and which way we're going to tip. And then Roman shows up next week.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
to tell us what the cost is, what the results are, what the fallout is from stuff that has happened.
I think go for it, Sam.
No, I was going to say, like, for me personally, I want to see some Bloodline drama. I'm ready for Sammy and Kevin to sort of leave the Uso story for now, go off and do something else. And
I
now,
agree.
And now for the Usos story to involve the Bloodline, really, and see what happens there, because they can't keep doing this match endlessly. Something needs to give, either tonight or on Raw. And it's a pay-per-view, so this is where stuff goes down. So I'm hoping something goes down tonight. But I want the champs to win, so it creates more drama within the Bloodline. That is what I want. Drama.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at the sort of longer story, not the longer story picture, but 3 weeks' time, we've got Night of Champions. How are they going to get around the Saudi Sami Zayn situation with the tag team champions? Because Sami can't go to Saudi Arabia because of the political
Kevin refuses. Yeah, because
Kevin refuses because of Sami Zayn.
Because of Sami, yeah.
So you have a Night of Champions where all belts are to be defended. Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens do not show up. Is that a way to get the titles off them by saying you are not defending them? We are taking the titles off you. Or do they lose it in the meantime?
Or do they just skip that match? Do they just skip that entirely? Which I think they've done before. Like, I know it's a Night of Champions.
Or do they split the belts?
Yeah, they could split, or they could just focus on the singles titles, or they could just, because they've got a lot of titles to defend. So
I mean,
they could
the way that I would probably do it, is I would flip the scripts and go do a cinematic match. You could still have the titles defended in a cinematic match, film it in the US, but
It's about displaying Sammy on the TV, though. The way it is it's about it's not a case of Sammy stepping into the country. Like he won't even want to be, and they won't
associated.
want him to be. Yeah, it's that.
Okay.
It really is silly, and you know, like and I know that's my opinion and things like that.
No, it's a deep prejudice.
Yeah, it is
that's what it's based on. It's a deep prejudice.
Yeah, it's
right. So
and because you know it's in their view, you know, Sammy is the wrong kind of Muslim. That's what it's basically based on. That's what they see it as. It's yeah, you know. But anyway,
I mean, if they did that, could they do a live match in the arena as they are broadcasting a separate match to the rest of the world, which I know they could probably get away with? Because that way you could have
like a dark match, like a sort of dark match situation.
I think it's probably simpler for them to lose the belts, and get them back after, or for them just to skip that match and focus on the.
I think a lot of the world would understand the reasoning behind it, because I think a lot of people know that Sami Zayn would risk sort of in a way his life by going to Syria, but they know the political connotations of Syria, Sami Zayn, Saudi Arabia. So I mean, for myself, if he said, I'm the tag champion, I'm not defending it because of this, people would be fine with it because there is a very good reason for it.
You should just say they're not being defended. Like,
it's terrible PR for WWE to do that, though. It's better for them just to...
Sorry, guys. Sorry. Solo Sikoa is about to spike.
This is the drama I wanted.
Oh, my days.
Oh, shit.
Oh, wow. This is... Oh, wow. The end of the bloodline, guys. Could be happening right here.
Oh, shit.
Did he do that deliberately by the... Oh, 1, 2...
Yeah, not a super kick.
Did Solo do that deliberately, guys, or was he trying to aim for Sammy?
No, he had Jimmy by the throat.
Yeah.
No, he was holding on to Jay. He was staring at Jay, being like, "I'm gonna spike the out of you."
Because I thought he was aiming for one of the baby faces and then caught Jay. No.
No, he had Jay and had him and was staring at him. Oh wow.
That was an interesting tease. There's Solo now in. Solo with a blind tag in. Riddle got the Road Derrick.
Interesting.
Solo in with there's the spike.
And
1, 2, 3. Solo getting the win there. Yeah. So some dissension teased in the bloodline there. A good match from what I saw.
It was a very good match. It was really hard hitting. They had a lot of good exchanges. It was a good showing from Solo. That moment between Solo and Jay.
What's Jimmy smiling at? Does he not know?
He doesn't know. What the hell?
Wow.
He's gonna get Jimmy unawares. I'm sorry about this ray of light shining in between.
So I think somebody accidentally got. I think Jay accidentally got Solo, maybe.
Yeah, well, they're teasing something here. But they're all on the same page right now as we finish up.
I think that was storyline wise. They could do more, but I think that was enough. I think that was what I wanted to see. Yeah, that was enough.
Breadcrumbs.
Like now things are getting so yeah, that they've moved it on along enough. I don't even mind the heels getting the win because they did enough to
wow.
Because it didn't matter who won or lost that match. What mattered was the drama between the Usos.
Yeah, that was what was teased. Major point coming up from that. But Solo and the Usos, guys. tension there. Kenny, what were you saying? Sorry.
No, yeah, I want to know what happened. So Solo keeps holding his chest. He looks pissed as hell.
Yeah, there's something
I
there.
wonder, did Jay accidentally hit him? Like, did Jay get Solo aiming for one of the faces, and then Solo, like, lost it and went kind of like berserker mode?
Sassy's got us covered. Solo did not accept the tag, and they argued. Solo was kicked out of the ring by Sammy. Move meant for Jay. So then, did Solo come back in and attack Jay? Sassy, is that what happened next? Because we were.
Yeah, no. So Solo nearly spiked Jay, I believe, and that was it was a not a scary moment, but an interesting moment again. So we'll see.
It was kind of scary.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. Yeah,
that's what I wanted to see. That is what I wanted to see.
Okay, so they argued about a tag. Like, Sassy, but can you tell me? Did Jay tag Solo? It matters. Did Jay tag Solo, and Solo didn't want to get, and Jay didn't want to get out of the ring, or Jay tagged? Sorry, Jay tagged Solo. Solo didn't want to get out.
Yeah, Jay violently tagged. It was the way he tagged him. So Jay sort of chopped him to tag him. And that's why he's holding his chest. And then there was a blind tag that Solo did at the end, which obviously led to Solo winning for the team. So some clear again dissension there. Sassy, Jay came back in Solo came back and spiked everyone, almost spiked Jay. Jay tagged Solo.
Yeah, I saw that. That's where I kind of okay. So it's the way Jay tagged.
Yeah, it's more the way it was done. We had a couple of people comment during that. Sorry we couldn't get to everybody. Kenny came in and wanted an update with what was happening. Hopefully we got to you, or we gave you a rundown of what you missed, because I know your Peacock shut down. That's unfortunate. We still have the WWE Network in the UK, so and that
do you really?
Still, yeah,
that's crazy.
And that's still better than BT Sport, which is what SmackDown and Raw are done on here. So yeah. So anyway, let's listen. So who was responding? I came on as Gimme a Hull. Yeah, did you come on, Sam?
I think it was just you and me.
I was gonna say, I was like, is Anthony here? I'm like, I'm pretty sure Anthony's in bed. Pretty sure he's in bed. So. Yeah, I can't remember what I'm saying. I'm so tired. Although I do have my jam on toast tea.
I feel better now I've had a brew, actually. I feel better.
Yeah, I feel a little bit better. Kinney, have you ever seen these things? They're called the spill knot. And what you do, like, it's great for people with physical conditions, like if they shake and if you spill stuff. What you do, it works on
me.
Well, yeah, and me. So it works. Watch this. Hang on.
Okay. What? No way.
And I can
That's crazy.
Very clever device using centrifugal force. Beautiful.
Yeah, using centrifugal force.
That's amazing.
What's popped you, Sam?
I'm laughing. Dan said it so matter of factly, and then Don went, "Yeah, centrifugal force," like Brian Griffin doing. It sounded like you were saying like you had no idea what it meant. You were just going, yeah. What Dan said, yeah. Finishing his sentence. That's what popped me.
I would heartily recommend. Well, to anyone really, but yeah, like it's changed my life.
I need many of those. Me and my roommate both. We both need those. Can you send me a link?
I can. I'm on it right now.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. It has absolutely
The weirdest part of
changed my life.
Don't forget about
Absolutely
that.
changed my life. So we're recapping the pre-WrestleMania and the post-WrestleMania stuff. The Raw that, of course, we were at. The best Raw we've ever seen, wasn't it, lads?
It's the best one I've ever seen live. I'll tell you that much.
I mean, it's not even the best one I've seen live.
Yeah.
I saw one 2019. It was the one where Kurt Angle was still GM. Enzo Amore was in the ring, and then they brought out Pete Dunne to destroy Enzo Amore.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, I
It
remember.
was
I
his
think-
debut on the main roster. That was the only one I've been to, and that was better than what we watched.
The best Raw I ever saw live was the one where Roman Reigns had the entire audience of Madison Square Garden chanting, "Who's your daddy?"
Yeah.
I was in the crowd. I was in the audience there. That was amazing.
You love that, don't you? You were like, yes,
Oh, it
yes,
was-
Roman.
Oh,
Yes.
I felt
Yes.
like
Daddy,
that
yes.
entire show was just for me. I was like, did we do this for me? Is this for me? It's like this
Oh
show is
my.
just for me. Who did this? I was like, God, thank you. My presence is for me.
You love a bit of Roman. I love it. Kid
Oh.
loves a bit of Roman. Give
me a
once
heel.
again, guys. For those that don't know Kinney well, I just want to paint a picture of the type of person that Kinney is. The first thing Kinney ever told me was that Kinney would drink the tears of children should Cody lose at WrestleMania.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wow. I did say that. And I meant it.
Yeah.
I said it and I meant it. And I say it again.
Yeah.
And look at that. I drank their tears all the way home.
Yeah, that's the kind of person that we allow here on the Give Me a Julio podcast to come on and support our cause. Is the type of person that drinks the tears of children. Yes, we are all
children.
We are all good
exactly.
people.
Orphan children, even better.
Absolutely.
They taste even saltier.
Oh my
even
god!
pure.
Oh my god!
They nourish us more.
We're definitely getting demonetized for this shit.
You might as well swear.
What is the whole chip spice? They're gonna send you an email tomorrow. They're gonna be like, we can't do this.
Yeah,
we can't
do
condone this behavior.
No, we cannot condone this behavior anymore.
It's all right. We got Yorkshire tea waiting in the wings.
Well, I'm hoping so. Yeah, I'm working on it. I'm constantly working on it. As we're currently seeing, Cody's coming out.
Adrenaline
in my soul. Cody Rhodes.
I'm pretty sure those are the exact words.
Absolutely, that's what it is.
every thought.
Now it's your guys' turn to be excited. It's your boy.
Mm-hmm. I love Cody.
I mean, I was going to say, I did treat myself a couple of days ago to a little figurine. You can't see too well on this picture, Kinney, but I do collect Funkos.
Yeah, I remember us talking about it.
Yeah.
For a little.
I've just passed the 700 mark by getting.
Wow.
The American
At what
Nightmare.
point does your girlfriend have an intervention for you?
When it takes over the shoe closet. You know what I mean? When they start moving into the shoe closet, that's when she's like, all right, no.
They've gone way beyond that, haven't they, Dan? They've gone way beyond that.
She's already sort of understood that my Funko collection is part of me. She tries to move any or get rid of any. She's gone out the door before they are.
Oh, firm boundaries. We love to see it.
I mean, I met her and I already had over 600, so...
It's part, yeah. So you already know at that point. Like, you know what you're getting into.
I know what my love is.
I mean, she slept over and stayed, Dan. Like, she saw it and came back. So at this point, it's on her.
She hid it and did not quit it. So at that point, You're good.
She goes, I'm going to change him. I'm going to change him. That's it.
She's
I'm
like
turning
one
that
by
into a
one.
stew room. Yeah.
One Funko Pop at a time. Dad's like, oh, am I to die?
Those are going because I'm going to have a spare room with lace pillows on the bed. You're not.
I mean, the next door neighbour that we've got is doing some housework, and they're doing a lot of work on the sort of joining wall. One of the Funkos fell off the shelf because it wasn't very stable. Sent me a photo of it and was like, I don't know where this guy is from. I don't know who it is, and I don't know where they're from. And I was worried that you'd think I've moved it on purpose. And I was like, no, it was Razor Ramon. He goes on the top shelf at the right-hand side. There's a box in front of it with the character. I knew exactly where it was, where it should be. So she's like, oh, he knows exactly where every single one is. So if I do move any or get rid of any, I know my neck is on the line.
And since that happened, no one's seen that neighbour since.
No.
She's like, no, I know.
She knows where the place is on the list.
None of my business.
Absolutely. I got a lot of respect for Dan's Funko collection and also his long-suffering partner. Much respect.
Very suffering.
Yeah, absolutely. Right. Let's as Brock's coming out, we should probably we'll try and address some of these comments as well, because we do appreciate you guys putting the effort and time into to comment on these streams. Official Misfit Gamer asked a question that we all asked at WrestleMania. Why didn't they put the title on Cody at WrestleMania? Once again, guys, we've talked about this many times, but just because we are waiting for Brock to get in the ring, it was a huge misstep for me not to have Cody win against Roman and bring about the tears of the children that were in turn drunk by Kinney. But yeah, no, it was a big mistake for me. Do you guys feel any differently weeks on from WrestleMania?
No.
I disagree hugely.
Oh no shit!
Every time I see a comment that's like, "Oh, why didn't Cody win at WrestleMania? It's so sad." I'm like, "Tell me more."
Give me them. Let me lick them tears.
I'm like, "Tell me more. How sad are you?"
Evil.
Flipping heck.
Yeah, Cody's
starting off strong.
Cody's starting off strong. He's taken off the Backlash table cover and started to beat Brock.
Did you see him walk there?
Yeah, he was doing the bushwhacker thing.
This is a great way to start off. Wow, that's
gonna be a gift. That's definitely gonna be a gift.
Cody's starting like Goldberg did. He's going out of the Goldberg playbook. Just start off really strong. Just beat Brock Lesnar up.
I think that's a great way to start with Brock.
Yeah,
you know,
Rollins did it.
For him,
well, didn't he?
Rollins has done it a few times. He did it at SummerSlam one year as well.
Yeah,
catch him unaware
mm-hmm.
and get the upper hand.
Especially for Cody's not as small as somebody like Seth, but he's definitely not a heavyweight like someone like Roman.
No, you're right. So we've got 5 minutes left to this PLE. Maybe a little more, a few more, but it's
a Brock Lesnar match, so I think 2 minutes.
Yeah, it's approaching 4 a.m. here in the UK, and so I'm thinking, and typically that's the end of even the longest. Well, it's typically the end. So I'm thinking this is going to be very short. We've just seen a disaster kick. We've just seen a second or third disaster kick. Cody's just grunting now. He just grunts. He's like, roar! He's going for a third, but he's going for a Cody Cutter, but Brock caught him. Suplex City.
I've just had a look on the WWE app, and their next show on the network doesn't start until 4:25. So unless this is going almost 30 minutes.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
I'm going to need another cup of tea.
I normally have a look because usually they have the time slots on there and they follow that sort of structure usually. And it's not very often that they're very wrong on the time. So if they have like a 5-minute commercial promo for a couple of shows on there, you're looking at probably 1/4 it finishes. So about another 20 minutes. So
okay.
There could be a big angle or something. There could be like
Oh, Cody's been caught, guys. He was going for a crossbody, but throwaway slam instead of an F5. I thought it was going to be an F5, but no, he got a throwaway slam there. Official Misfit Gamer says, this should be for the title. Yes, I know. Because
that would
no, it should not.
Let's be, as like I've said before, though.
Maybe a title, not the title.
It made more sense for Brock to help Cody, because if Cody had won the title off Roman, then Brock wouldn't be held back by that SummerSlam stipulation anymore, because Brock can't challenge for the Universal or the WWE title while Roman holds it. The minute Roman doesn't hold it, it's fair game for him again. So
it did make is my friend.
No, I agree though. That choice, for once, I was like, this makes sense. Like Brock coming out, teaming with Cody, that tag team made a lot of sense. That match would have made a lot of sense. Brock putting aside his ego to help another person, maybe not so much.
Yeah.
Well, that's why it would have been such a surprise. We were all surprised by it,
Well, it's just from a booking, from a stipulation point of view, it like Brock.
Yeah.
The idea of Brock going, I'm helping Cody, but the minute you've got that title, I'm coming for you, boy. Now that would have, because it
would have been
the title.
A Brock under Paul Heyman, I think, could have pulled that off. But I don't think.
Yeah, because we still don't know
Brock
why
under.
he attacked him, do we?
Yeah.
We still don't know why Brock attacked him. Have they
no
told
reasoning
us
yet? No, there's been no reasoning for any part of it yet. So it's just Brock being Brock, I think.
Is it the Scorpion and the Frog?
I think so. Yeah, literally, just yes.
It's the Scorpion and the Frog story.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I still wanted to see that Brock and Bray match, but obviously he vetoed that, and that annoyed the hell out of me. As a big Bray fan, but Cody Rhodes and Brock is in principle a mouth-watering feud. If they do carry this on, but yeah. Brock is now standing over Cody. Cody playing the underdog in this. An interesting comment from Sassy, our long-standing moderator, which we will probably discuss a little bit after this match is over. Cody is going to regret coming to WWE in the long run. He will win the title, but will finally be buried. We'll put that one on ice to discuss, pending the result of this match. Because I would argue that if they give Cody a win over Brock, then that is a pretty good indication he won't be buried, because Brock he's like the final boss, isn't he? So, but an interesting thing to discuss.
I'd need to see more evidence to agree on that, because I'm not so sure there's. I need to see more evidence.
Yeah, I would be very surprised if they buried Cody. I think that they like Cody's type too much.
I do.
And they just, I would be very surprised.
Yeah.
Cody is like cookie cutter WWE superstar.
I mean, I do love a bit of Cody. Cody's taken a lot of suplexes, guys. A lot of suplexes today. Cody now kind of on his knees. Brock standing over him, very, very confident. Now, what's going on here? Is Cody going to be able to counter this suplex, guys? I'm not sure. Is this what you want to see? Do you want to see Cody as the underdog, or would you have preferred to see him dominate more? Almost in Goldberg fashion, a quick, decisive win for Cody, or would you want to see Cody overcome the odds? Let's ask Kinney first, and then move around.
I mean, it's Brock, so there's not a lot you can do. Like, he has to look a certain way in the ring. He has to, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think they want him to be a face, so you're gonna get like underdog Cody in almost every match, unless. I mean, I guess not in every. Up against somebody like Brock, you're going to get underdog Cody, I think. I can't imagine this match going like any other way, basically. Yeah, so I don't know if there's anything else I'd want to see, but it's pretty much what I expected to see.
Okay, yeah. I mean, I guess it's, you're right. It's probably what people expect to see. But I think it would have been more shocking if Cody had been more dominating. But I'm guessing you guys agree with Kenny's assessment there. Did Cody just hit a Cody cutter
Brock
on
is
Brock?
busted open.
That's a signature move. Brock is busted open.
Wide as well. Very wide.
Yeah, I think he hit him against the turnbuckle. Oh, exposed turnbuckle. Yeah, so he really got him.
At least it's not a squash. At least it's not a 3-minute match. At least Cody's getting some offense in, but you know what I mean?
Another Cody.
I mean, you look at the mat around where they are now. Brock is bleeding.
Yeah, he is.
He's really busted.
Crimson mask.
Yeah, he is. Oh, my Lord.
Crimson mask. Cody's rubbing the blood all over him.
Catriona, it's all of us and the hosts who aren't here as well if they wanted to at any point. So it's potentially about 6 people.
We're all Gimme a Julia. All of us.
Eight separate people have access to that. Only 4 of them are awake, though, I believe, at this time. Oh, no, 5 of them are, because Sassy's awake too. So 5 of them are awake. Crossroads. First one.
Held on for a second.
Second one.
Get out of town.
Are we going to see Cody pull out a win?
Kick out. Brock kicked out on the 2 Crossroads.
Brock's so good at them last second kick outs.
Gone for 3.
Because Brock could do it the hard way.
Yeah.
Such a marky comment.
Oh, nice
marky comment. Sorry,
nice little replay there of the way Brock was busted open.
Yeah.
Definitely hard way.
Mm-hmm.
I got something for you the hard way, Dan.
I knew that was coming. I thought one of them's going to do it.
Dan knows
it's coming.
Dan knows it's coming too.
I actually think the blood in this. Honestly, Sassy, man, this is accidental. Though,
F5. F5. Oh no! Come on, Cody, kick out! Yes, Cody.
And let's be fair, like a street fight in WWE isn't ever going to be a real street fight. The WWE doesn't do real hardcore wrestling. Not even AEW. Like, and AEW is having too much blood at the moment. So I think if both companies found a happy medium, I'd be happier. AEW needs less blood and less silly street fights, and WWE needs to find some edge. I think personally.
It's Sassy's like. So Sassy's in love with Moxley, so Sassy doesn't want blood unless it's Moxley's blood. So you can like lick it up or whatever.
Like the orphan's tears.
Whatever weird stuff you're into.
Oh my God.
Listen, I don't judge.
And I respect whatever you're into, Sassy, of course. But, you know, I know that you don't want to see blood unless it's Moxley's. So Cody's in the Kimura, guys. This is obviously a signature move of Brock's to get that submission, but Cody's holding it. Yeah, Cody's got the... Oh, did Cody just roll? What? Cody just did it. Cody just rolled him up. That's mental.
So that's wrestling.
Cody!
Yeah.
Wow.
I've never seen that. I've never seen anyone do that. That's such an obvious way to reverse it.
I don't mind that finish because he out-wrestled him.
Yeah.
Could
that be called on the fly, though? With the blood that Brock is losing, could they have stopped the match a bit earlier, do you think?
Yeah, they might have done, because that's hard way, isn't it? That he's busted open hard way.
It's hard way. There could be concussion. There is a lot of blood. So they could have called it in the ring, said...
Yeah, it looked like there was some communication between the ref and Brock, too.
Yeah.
Nice.
But it's a great inventive finish, even if it was
really good.
planned
really
beforehand.
Good.
Really cool.
Impressed with that.
I'm happy with that. I'm happy with this whole pay-per-view. I'm honestly,
this was
really good.
A lot better. We just saw someone throw a towel in for Brock. So yeah, Brock's taking that towel. So Brock's in the ring, wiping himself down. Cody goes to the back.
He's not happy. So do we know that was that definitely hard way, Dan?
Yes.
Could they have engineered that? Yeah.
Looking at it, you see Brock actually hit the exposed turnbuckle, and immediately goes up like that. And it looks like he goes, oh. But yeah, I mean, you can see his forehead. He's wiped it down. He's still bleeding from it. So
Yeah.
I would say that was, if that was pre-planned or if it was done in the ring with a blade job, that was such a well done, because I didn't spot it, and I usually spot that stuff quite quickly.
It was that was really good. From what I saw, that was really good. Let's do the review portion, guys, because obviously we're it's 4:05 a.m. for us. Kinney obviously has still part of the evening to go, but I'd like Kinney to enjoy their evening as well. But yeah, let's run this back. So I missed through being stuck on a motorway in the UK. I missed the first part of the pay-per-view, but a stellar match between Io Sky and Bianca Belair. I don't know. Whatever. Yeah, I'm very tired. A really good match there. The right call, probably having Bianca Belair win. Although I love Io Sky, and I think Io Sky deserves a championship run somewhere down the road. But probably the right result there for Bianca Belair to retain.
Nope.
I agree with Dom.
Okay, well, I'll tell you what, let's go. Okay, let's quickly run through all the matches then, and then we'll do the grades and stuff at the end. So I'm going to leave it to you guys rather than talking too much. Bianca Belair and Io Sky, the right result for Bianca to win. Let's open it up. You guys all go whenever you wish to go.
No,
I think yes, it was, because it's Bianca. It's not Io's time. I love how once they're slowly becoming face and heel. I'm happy with that.
Okay, Kinney?
Yeah, I think I'm happy with that result. I think give Io a little bit more time to cook. I think give Bianca a little bit more time to cook. In a couple of months, maybe give Io the belt. I could see that. Maybe even maybe like 6 months even. But I think today was the right decision.
Yeah.
Okay. Yep. Cool with that.
I'm
Go
going completely opposite that one. I don't think Io's been hot right now, and I think that if you put the title on Io, we did have a sort of chat about it with Andy about Bayley could become either jealous and cause a lot of internal struggle, turn Io face organically with Bayley being the de facto heel in there. I just think that the switch there made more sense than keeping it on Bianca for me.
I think they can still do it. If they let them both cook, they can still do that, even if they let them both cook a little bit more. I reckon.
Yeah.
I agree that they could let it cook a bit more, but I don't think that Io's at the height of her popularity and her in-ring ability right now. But you'll give her another few months with a title, she will feel like the biggest star on the planet in the women's division. I think if you don't strike while the iron is hot, which it is for Io right now, you could miss that. And I think that could happen with Io.
Yeah, and it has happened before. Unfortunately, people missed opportunities with certain talent for sure. If you don't strike while the iron is hot. An excellent point there from Dan. Let's move forward to the Triple Threat United States Championship match. Austin Theory, Bobby Lashley, and Bronson Reed. I'm not doing this in order, guys. I know there was a Seth and Omos thing. We'll do that one next. But the triple was that in order? God knows. Anyway, the Triple Threat United States title match. Austin Theory, Bobby Lashley, and Bronson Reed. The right result was Austin Theory to win for you guys. Let's start with Kinney and move round. What are you thinking about Theory winning this, Kinney?
I think it's really soon to call. Honestly, Theory has a lot of potential. He has a lot of his performance ability is really high up there. Obviously, his wrestling ability, he's a great wrestler. But I don't like his character right now. I think his character is really stagnant. I think it doesn't really have any place to go. And his ability to pull other wrestlers up he just doesn't have it. And part of that is his character. Part of it is just him. He's Theory. So I want to see I want to see him do something. I want to see him do more. I want to see him work with other wrestlers in a way that's actually generous, and shows some awareness of the people of him being in a scene with other people. So I guess I want to see something come out of the match, if that's with Bronson Reed, if that's with other people, with some of the other NXT stars coming up, something like that.
Yeah, totally with you on that. Yeah, I absolutely agree that I'm a big fan of Theory, but you're right, he's not got it yet. And obviously that remains to be seen. We'll see what happens there, going forward. Sam, your thoughts on Theory winning that match?
Yeah, I'm pleased with that. Again, they've got a plan for Theory, which they're clearly executing right now. They did the thing with Cena at Mania. It made sense for him to be a squirrely little asshole and get away with it tonight. I'm really happy with that result. I want the two big guys to keep bashing each other like they are. I think right now it makes sense for Theory to keep cheating to win. I hope he holds it till at least SummerSlam, at least, maybe longer. Yeah, happy with that.
Fantastic. As we welcome Southie from Australia. Nice to see you. Thank you for joining us. Dan, your thoughts on Theory retaining? Was it the right call?
Yeah, I think that Theory is at the point where if he lost the title now, he might get lost in obscurity.
Yeah.
Keeping hold of the title now and beating two much bigger guys in Bronson Reed and Bobby Lashley gives him a legitimacy that he could use going forward. There's new talent being brought up from NXT in the draft. There's people being moved across. So it gives fresh matchups where he can show these abilities that he has got, because you can't deny he is a very talented guy in the ring.
Yeah.
I still think he is learning a few bits as he goes,
Yeah.
but he is still at the point where he can still build this character and be a solid heel for the next few years at least. I don't think they need to turn him face or anything like that. So keeping the title on him does more right than wrong for him as of right now for me. So yeah, right call.
With you on that one, absolutely. Seth Rollins and Omos was obviously a big match of match of epic proportions in terms of the fact that nobody knew it was happening until a few weeks ago. It was a big deal in that respect. But then, Omos, had come off a big loss, against Brock at WrestleMania. And Seth obviously is on fire as possibly one of the most popular superstars the WWE's had in the last decade, with this kind of sort of cocky, confident gimmick that he has going on, the singing, etc., singing crowd, whatever. So it was a weird, oddball matchup at first, but actually, I found that it impressed me more than I expected it to. Omos put on a better match than I'm used to him seeing. Seth Rollins probably can take a lot of credit for that. So for me, but again, I would have rather seen Omos go over, because Omos needed the win more than Seth did. And, for me personally, it would have been better served, because Seth doesn't need a win to look like a champion, because he looks like a champion and he's got enough pedigree to maybe go the distance, even with a loss, to go the distance in the tournament that they're about to do. But yeah, I think it's a real missed opportunity that almost didn't win here. I don't know what you guys think. Again, let's start with Sam and then go to Dan, then finish with Kinney on this one.
Yeah, I think they now need to rehabilitate Omos. They now need to. I love the idea of him feuding with a few mid card guys and getting jobbers means nothing anymore. We all know as soon as you don't recognize the guy's face, you might as well fast forward. So job matches are done. They're played out. Sorry, they start feuding with a few mid carders to help him out. But I do think it was the right decision on this occasion, because it does look like, even if they're going to swerve us, it looks like they want us to think Seth is the favourite going into this tournament. So I'm happy going along with the story for now. And if that has to be built on the broken body of Omos for now, I'm fine with that. As long as they do rehabilitate him and that now becomes the focus elsewhere. But I'm fine with that finish, that result.
Okay, yeah, all right. Let's go to Dan?
Yeah, I mean, I would prefer Seth to win. He's the person that you are more likely to build in the future for another main event spot. I think Omos is an attraction up to a point. I don't think that he's ever going to be a world champion material like the Great Khali was. People look at the Great Khali's title reign as one of the worst things that WWE ever did because he couldn't work in the ring. I think Omos has got a little bit more about him, but I do think that Omos is going to be someone that they're never going to want to push to the main event scene because his in-ring work is never going to live up to what his size lives up to, and it's a showcase rather than a story wrestler for me.
Yeah.
So I think that Seth, for me, winning was more of the right call because it is. You look down if Seth loses a match against Omos and then Omos goes and does nothing, what's the point in the win? Unless you're going to do something with Omos in the future in terms of a big story or a big match angle, I don't think there's any point in Omos getting a win.
Right. I mean, yeah, I do see what you're saying, but I do think that there is designs on Omos being a world champion somewhere down the line. That's my personal opinion, but I can totally see where you're coming from. Kinney, your thoughts on this?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's too early to say about Omos's in-ring ability because he's so green. Like I said, for me, I've never been frustrated with Omos. I feel like every time I've seen him, he's always been improving. His in-ring work has just steadily improved over time. He literally started out as security, just as straight up security. So we can assume he didn't have any in-ring experience before getting in the ring, really. Like I think we can just assume that his in-ring experience is very, very, very limited. And they probably threw him in as green as he was, right?
Yeah.
So I've always been impressed with, even if I've been like, well, this guy is not, he's green. I've always been impressed with his ability to improve over time because that's what I've always seen from Omos. I was really happy with the result of the match. I was really happy with the match overall. I was so impressed with it. I think that's the one thing. Every time I see Omos put up against someone, I always hear people talk about how the match isn't going to be good. And then everybody's always so surprised. They're always surprised by Omos. And I love that because Omos always puts on a much better show than people think that he's going to. Because I think he puts in the work. I think he wants to put on a good show. He wants to put on a good performance. So I like to see that too. I think that giving Seth the win was the right call because I think giving Omos the win would have been trying to kind of make better the fact that he didn't get the win from Brock. Right? He didn't get the win over Brock. And that's not really the right way to do that. He should have gotten the win over Brock. That's what should have happened. He didn't get it. But that's the situation we're in. So Seth should have gotten the win because Seth's getting pushed to the heavyweight championship. Seth needs to be able to prove at this point that he can get consistent wins over people like Lashley, over people like Omos, right? Over these big dudes. And we believe that Seth can, but Seth also took massive, massive losses last year. So I like seeing Seth getting these like consistent wins, and especially consistent wins over big dudes. I think it's a really good look for him right now. I love that for him. So yeah, I think it was good. I like this for Omos. I think that they need to just put more into him. They need to give him more time. They need to give him more creative direction. WWE needs help creatively.
Yeah.
I see so much potential, but yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I see the potential too. I see the potential in Omos. I think, but again, Seth is the commodity. He is the commodity. He is the WWE, the quintessential guy that he's the next quintessential guy to Cody. He looks the part, he acts the part, everything. But I do believe in Omos. You know, I made a joke at the beginning of this. You know, again, that he, you know, he's the greatest superstar in the modern era, you know, with a little bit of sarcasm. I appreciate Omos has got a long way to go, but I think you guys hit something. You know, I think if we turned him face, you know, I think there's a lot there.
I want to see him face.
Yeah.
I've been wanting to see him face probably for about since he debuted. Basically, I've been wanting to see Omos face.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I'm with you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Guys, I'm really sorry. You don't mind if I love you and leave you, because I'm I'm getting really, really sleepy, and it's hitting me like a brick. So
okay.
I know we've only got 10 minutes to go, but I might have to hit the pillow.
No problem, mate. It's 4:20 a.m. So you're absolutely welcome. We'll run this, like I say, we'll run through the rest of the matches. There's only 2 left, I think.
But I will tell you. I will quick, just before I go. I'll say match of the night was Bad Bunny. Performer of the night, Bad Bunny. Grade. I'm giving that pay-per-view 9 out of 10 because I thought it was great. So guys, I'll love you. I'll be back on SmackDown on Friday. Take care. See you soon.
See you
Bye,
soon,
Sam.
mate.
Have a good night.
Take it
Bye,
easy.
Sam. Bye, Sam. Yeah, so sorry, it is. I know this is taking a little longer than we planned, but I do think I want to go. I do want to go back through a lot of stuff, and just want to say hi to the people that have come in, Louianne as well. Thank you, and thank you for that lovely compliment. Nice to see you. It's all good. We're all happy that you are here. We have a couple more people in there, Tori in as well. What's next for Cody? We'll get through that. We will get to that soon. Thank you all for being here. So yeah, we've run through Seth and Omos. I think the next match before we have to check me here, Dan, if I miss one. Before we do Brock and Cody, there's 2 more, and that's the Zelina and Rhea, which I'll run through, and then if you guys have any more points, because I am feeling it. I'm aware we went longer than the usual review and the points or whatever. This was fantastic. This was my favorite, you know, in terms of moments. Wonderful stuff. The LWO coming out at the end. Zelina had more offense than I expected she would have. Much in the same way that Omos did in the Seth one. And I think this is down to the professionalism of Rhea giving Zelina some more time, you know, in that. And Zelina looked good, even in defeat. Then, of course, having Carlito come, having Savio Vega come out, some wonderful spots there. Just a cracking match. Really, really great stuff. A lot of fun. You know, probably my favorite match of the night, I think. You know, on the whole, I don't think I've selected my favorite yet, but I think that's fantastic. I really do. The Judgment Day stuff and the LWO stuff clearly isn't over. I'm not mad about that. I think there's definitely some legs to Carlito being in the company and joining the LWO. I don't know what you guys think. Let's start with Kinney and then finish with Dan on that one.
Yeah. So we're talking about the finish, right? First.
Yeah. Well,
yeah.
Whatever you want.
Yeah. Okay. So I love the match. The match was amazing. I thought it was really well. Like, they had so much going on. And that somebody said like the best overbooked match, and I thought like 100% agree. Just the best overbooked match. One of the best overbooked matches I think I've ever seen. And sorry, all of the you know, at the end of the night when you're tired and all of the matches start running together and you kind of have to think for a second to pull them apart, to be like, wait a minute, that happened in this match, right? I was so impressed by, I mean, Bad Bunny is just he's just so good in the ring, and just everything was so seamless. And I love to see that, just to see somebody, to see 2 performers that really put the work into a match, and especially for somebody like Bad Bunny, who doesn't necessarily need to, like, he's you know what I mean? Like, he's a superstar. He doesn't really need to put in the work like this, but he really put the work in. The match was just so seamless. It was, I loved it. It was great, start to finish.
It was great, and you're right, Kinney. They are starting to blend into me as well, because I forgot about the Damian Priest Bad Bunny match. So because of that, and because we're all tired, what I'm going to do is I'm going to end with the review thing. I'm going to do the review thing because we still talk a little bit about that in that, I'm going to give you guys a couple of questions. I'm going to ask you both to give me your grade of the night and why, your match of the night and why, and your performer of the night and why. Then we're going to bed because we're all tired. And I realize if we went into detail on all those matches in the same way that we've just done the rest of them, and I'm sorry for those guys that missed our thoughts on, like I say, that didn't get our thoughts in the review on Cody and Brock directly, and the rest of them. We talk about them like way back over the last 3 hours and 24 minutes plus. So we'll give you, that then you'll get a more in-depth review as we comment on the matches themselves. But I am going to ask you guys, we'll start with Dan and then go to Kitty. Your match of the night, Dan, and why, your grade of the night and why, and your performer of the night on the whole and why. Please, Dan.
I'm going to start with my performer of the night, and I would be going Bad Bunny. I think that considering he's not a professional wrestler, even though he has had quite a bit of training, I do think that the entertainment level he gets wrestling from start to finish, from bell to bell, from entrance music to walking back behind the curtain. He gets being a wrestler. He's loved it since he was a kid. So he's living out a dream that I think a lot of us probably will have had at some point. Being able to walk through the curtain and having the crowd pop for your music, pop for you walking out, pop for your finisher, pop for you winning a big match. And it's partly the enjoyment level of watching him experience it, but it's also, he's bloody good in the ring. He's pulling off some moves. I mean, Canadian Destroyers, it's a move that I don't think many of the roster do. And he's coming from the outside, and he's doing Canadian Destroyers on bigger guys than himself. I mean, Damien Priest is no Rey Mysterio level sort of height character. He's a 6 foot plus guy, and he's doing a Canadian Destroyer and making it
6'7"
flawless.
or something.
Yeah. It's absolutely crazy. Flawless. My match of the night for me was the Bianca Belair versus Io Sky match. It was, I think, a contender for possibly match of the year, or at least in the talks for female match of the year. It was hard hitting. It was a great story. Only for me was the wrong outcome. That's the only issue I had with it. But I can see why they probably would do that. I don't like it, but it doesn't take away from the quality of the match.
Mm-hmm.
If they'd have done the exact same match but had Io win, that would be in my match of the contender straight away, because it was absolutely perfect. But my overall grade of the night, even though it's classed as a B-level pay-per-view, it's not one of your big 4, big 5, whichever you want to call them now, I would still give that an 8 out of 10, because the show itself was spot on. The wrestling was fantastic. And the stories told in each match made sense, had a good outcome for sort of 99% of the most part. There is storylines going forward, which is always what I look for. I like reading between the lines of what I think WWE will do and seeing the intricate storytelling that they are trying to lay out already for people.
Yeah.
So with having the Bloodline, the Jimmy and Jey Uso with Solo, we know that story is there, but it's the unknowing of Jimmy and Jey. I think it was Jimmy that didn't realise that Jey also got spiked.
Mm-hmm.
And it's stuff
nearly spiked, yeah.
And it's stuff like that which is just so cleverly done.
It is.
That makes me believe it was more of a Triple H booked show than it was a Vince booked show.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I say, agree on a lot of those points, and I've got a lot of like I say, before Kinney does their match of the night, grade of the night, I'll do mine quickly. I think match of the night for me was the I'm trying to think. The Zelina.
Rhea Ripley and Zelina Vega.
Rhea Ripley and Zelina Vega, because of everything that that went down. Zelina's emotional entrance was wonderful. Rhea made Zelina look good. Rhea looked great, of course, as well. Yeah, I think performer of the night, though, you got to give it to Bad Bunny. Everything he does everything he does turns to gold, man. That guy has the Midas touch, doesn't he? He's undeniably good. Like, we couldn't sit here and say just because he sells millions of records, he's a rubbish wrestler. Like, he's so good at it, and he deserves his flowers for that. In terms of a grade of the night, I'm going to say a good solid 7.5 out of 10. Which I understand probably could be, people might be like, well, why isn't it more? Why isn't it? Some people say, why isn't it less? Some of the matches, of course, maybe suffered a little bit. But I was really impressed from what I saw. Happy to be here. Fundamentally, like I say, I wrote that status the other day. I'm very happy to be here. Happy to be here with you guys. Happy to be here because of you guys. But also, I really enjoyed that as a show. I thought it was great, and it really sort of reminded me why I enjoy wrestling and why I enjoy spending this time at this ridiculous hour doing this stuff with you guys. And so that was a really good show. Wonderful from Louis N at $5. Thank you so much, mate. It really helps us. It helps us pay for StreamYards. It helps us keep going. So thank you so much for that as we finish up. Really appreciate it. Kinney, our esteemed, slightly evil special guest. So just to remind you of what I need from you as we finish. I need your grade of the night and why, your performer of the night and why, and your match of the night and why, if you please.
Yes. All right. So I think I will give my my match of the night, I'm gonna give to Bad Bunny and Damian Priest. I love a good street fight. I love any match that's like, no disqualification, no rules, do whatever you want. And it's just like, I understand that nothing too out of control is going to happen, but just the chaos, you know what I mean? Like, weapons get involved, they get in the crowd, they spill out of the ring, they don't have to worry about getting back in the ring. I love that. The more chaos, the better. So I love a good street fight. And this one was so well put together. I feel like you can tell when a street fight or a no disqualification match is not well put together, and they're like, this is just a regular match. Like, we're not bothering with that. And this one, they really were like, no, we're doing a street fight.
Yeah.
And it was great, start to finish.
Yeah.
There was no lulls. They really had the timing down. The chemistry was beautiful. It was great.
Yeah.
So I would give my. Sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say, that was your match, okay?
Yeah, and then I would give my performer of the night. I'm really torn. I'm gonna say Bad Bunny was amazing, and I think he's a really easy pick for performer of the night. But I'm actually gonna give my performer of the night to Solo, because that moment when he had Jay, and just that moment between him and Jay was so intense, and it was literally arresting. I literally felt like my heart pick up in speed. Like, I felt myself like it was crazy. Like, the intensity on his face, and he looked enraged. And we haven't really seen a lot from Solo in terms of we've seen him get mad, we've seen him get nah, like this, I'm gonna handle business, no, you really pissed me off. But we haven't seen him get deep, nah, you really, I'm about to F you.
A lot of emotion there.
There was a lot there. He really, and him and Jay kind of held in that pose there. There was the way that they were looking at each other. There was just and it was such a quick moment. And the intensity they managed to ramp up so quickly in that short amount of time, to me, is just so impressive. Is one of the reasons that I think, in my opinion, the Bloodline are just, there's nobody better in terms of in-ring, out-of-ring performers. You can't get any better. So I think I'm gonna give it to Solo, and that's I'm really proud of him. I haven't chosen Solo either here or on my own as being that was a moment for him, but that was a moment for him. That was amazing. And then my grade of the night, I'm gonna go ahead and give it like I'm gonna say an 8.5 out of 10. That was a really solid pay-per-view all the way through. Like it definitely had its moments, where you're like, oh. But no, all the way through, I felt really good about the whole pay-per-view. I feel like they were really with the crowd. They were paying attention to the details in ways that a lot of the times, sometimes WWE doesn't. They dropped the ball a little bit because they do, but they did a good job. I was impressed. For WWE, they did a really good job. This was a solid win.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's a great final point to end on. Again, solid win for WWE. We don't get many of them, especially since a certain person has returned at the top of the food chain. So we are happy with this PLE overall. I think all of us are interested in what's going to happen next week on the weekly shows, which Dan will be with you for on Monday. Because Dan's going to work tomorrow, and then he's doing Raw. He's nuts, man. I don't know how he does it.
I'm doing work tomorrow and Monday, and still doing Monday Night Raw.
Hey, I love you, but I really
dedication.
Do. Yeah, that is dedication to the cause. So please support Dan in his Monday Night Raw epicness, because it's a long show, and he really appreciates your support. I'm sure he'll bring snacks. I'm sure there'll be.
Yes. Oh yes,
lots of caffeine flying around, maybe some bodily fluids. Who knows? But please do join Dan on Monday
Only
Night
if you
Raw.
join me, Dom.
Well, maybe I will. So yeah, please do join Dan on Monday Night Raw. Kinney always has the option as the very special guest to return whenever they choose. Maybe a SmackDown, certainly a PLE down the line, but that is up to Kinney. So hopefully, please do tweet Kinney and drop them a message to tell them that they would like, you guys would like them to come back to do a SmackDown with Sam. That is always an option. Sam is taking over SmackDown for a little while because I am tired. That's what we're going with, because it's 4:37 a.m. So yeah, Sam's taking over SmackDown. Please support Sam next week. I'll be back with something somewhere down the line. Definitely some kind of PLE / impact thing / whatever I choose. But yeah, support Dan, support Sam, support Kinney. Thank you for being here.
Support Dom.
Yeah.
Support Dom. Go check out WrestleSphere.
Yeah, WrestleSphere is a thing. Do that. Soundsphere is a thing. Check that out if you want. Give me a whole yeah. Support this channel. Thank you to everybody that has supported us. Thank you to Louis again for the donation. Thank you, Sassy, for being a wonderful moderator. We are so happy that you guys are part of this community. It's been a pleasure. We've been with you for over 3 hours. I've really enjoyed it. And Dan, it's a privilege to have you here. You were only supposed to be in the back end. You came on screen, and
you're used to me in the back
end.
You
made it to the front end.
I am. Yeah, I'm used to you in the back end, but you can move to my front end. Kinney, it is I will message you during the week. It's lovely to hang out with you and spend time with you in this setting. So thank you so much for giving up your time this Saturday / Sunday, where we are to do this stuff with us. We love you guys. Everybody on screen, everybody off screen. It's in the comments. We appreciate you. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to tune in next week, and we appreciate your support. We're going to do the jazz hands, and I'm going to pick an outro after a count of 5. Anthony hates this. That's why I love doing it even more now.
You do it, and I'll pick the outro for us.
All right, okay. Kenny, you going to do it with me? You know
I'm going to do it. All
right, okay. Right, okay.
Wait,
we count down from 5, right? We count down from 5, and then we do whole yeah with jazz hands, right? So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. See you later. Oh yeah, jazz hands. Oh yeah. Bye guys. Oh yeah. Where's the out?
Hello, this is Shotzi Blackheart, and welcome to Gimme a Whole Yeah. I hope everyone checking this out in Yorkshire and beyond is having a great day.